Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Words from the Nerds podcast. If you're a new listener, hello, because I shilled out the podcast a lot last night at the early screening. People in line, people next to me.
No way. There's no
I
way
swear
you
to
just
you, I
actually
did.
you just
I
you just
swear to
randomly
you.
turned it to people and you're just like, hey man, you want something to listen
Yeah.
to?
Well, somebody
No
recognized
way.
you, right?
Somebody was like,
What?
I was gonna say you look familiar, and I was like, probably not. I don't think it'd be from that. And he was like, I was like, I watch One Piece on TikTok, and the guy behind him was like, One Piece, you say? And I was like, yeah, I react to One Piece. And he was like, what did he say? He was like, okay, then I think I've definitely seen you. I was like, oh, nice. But I told the other dude, because he was super cool to me and Brandon. He was like, hey, he was like, y'all can go in front, because I know y'all were here earlier. And I was like, oh, you're good, man. And he sat there and he subscribed right in front of me. I was like, oh, hell yeah, let's go. So, anyways,
You should have
to
set
anybody-
something up with Brandon, where Brandon like walks up to you, just like, "Dude, are you Aiden?"
Oh yeah, let's get a picture, man. I'm like, oh yeah, 200 subscribers on.
And then we sit next to each other in the theater, and they're like, "Huh."
Yeah, interesting. Yes, anybody new here from our 2-week early Thunderbolts screening that me and Brandon went to last night. Brandon, obviously, last time he was here was the Flash early previews, which was a film.
I forgot about that.
Was a movie, and we had him on literally right before I moved here. So that was the last time that we had, because Guardians. I don't think we were recording. Oh well, we did an episode for it, but none of us really went to the early screening or cared enough to get someone in for that. So the Flash is the last one. This week was Thunderbolts. We went to an early screening. I'll get to how these gentlemen are today. Have never been more excited to get in and record a podcast episode. So I'm all over the place. We got Brandon here back for the first time in 2 years. Mr. Charlie. Everyone like, sub, all that fun stuff. Comment. We'll shout it out. I'll get to how y'all are today. I'll read the comments. But Charlie, Mr. Charles, how have you been today?
I'm good, man. It's been a hell of a week. A lot of jealousy on my side this past week because of stuff that we'll get into later. But, or actually, I assume it's going to have to do with the thumbnail and title of this episode. But watched a lot of good movies, a lot of good TV shows. Just been working and creating and gaming. Excited for tonight. As of recording this, here in less than 2 hours, Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders. I know Brandon's out here looking for it too.
Yeah, I'm refreshing everything right now. So
Grows on it.
I'm looking forward to that, and so yeah, it's I'm a happy guy this week, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, we got a big episode. If you're here just for the Thunderbolt stuff, awesome. We're going to start off with that, get into a little bit of a list update. And then we got Sinners. I mean, one of the best movies of the decade, it looks like everyone is saying. And then The Last of Us, episode 2, season 2. So we got a great one. If there's something you like or you want to jump to, go ahead and do that with the chapters and whatnot. But if you're here just for the Thunderbolt stuff, cool. Just listen to that and bounce out, whatever you prefer. Mr. Benjamin, what's up, man?
Dude, it's crazy how much we're talking about this episode and just how insane everything's been. And honestly, like, I know we knew that we were going to be in heavy TV show season, and then it was going to chill out a little bit and then get into movie season and whatnot. It really hasn't felt chill. Like, it feels like this whole year has just been packed full, which is insane. But also, like, I don't want it to not be like this. There's going to be a time where there's not as many releases. There's not all this crazy hype around movies and shows. And so I'm definitely trying to live in the moment with all these awesome releases. So I'm doing well. Really don't have anything to complain about. And yeah, very excited to get into this discussion.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point in time where we were covering just Creature Commandos and news. every other episode.
Wild.
So which is it could be a lot worse.
The dead times.
Yes. Mr. Brandon talked to you yesterday for a good 5.5 hours plus on our way up to Kansas City. So I know how you're doing, but go ahead and tell the folks how you're doing today.
Oh, I'm doing good. Running on 4 hours of sleep from last night.
Yeah.
I'm just ready to talk about some Thunderbolts and hopefully get a Switch 2 pre-order in tonight. So
Yeah. And if the time lines out, or if the time shapes out well, you could even give your thoughts on the list, because I know I told them we were talking about it a little bit last night, and we talk about it a lot together, but they never get outside view. I do, because I talk to you about it a lot. So we'll see. Maybe you can even give your thoughts on that. Last week's episode.
Speaking of, you can keep going. Actually, I just remembered I have to get my girlfriend's card information ready for this. So give me 1 second. You can keep going. I'm still listening.
That's crazy.
what? You don't have all the accounts set up already? Come on, Charlie.
No, Brandon's gonna get one and Charlie's not. He's gonna be so mad.
Hey, I have a backup plan. I'm paying somebody $50 to go sit outside a GameStop at 4 a.m. So,
My God.
Dude, Charlie's gonna make us pause the episode recording at what I think he said 10:30. He's gonna make us pause it.
Yeah, it goes live at 11, but everybody's kind of like, be ready sooner because somebody always pulls the trigger early.
That's
Dude, we're gonna be like mid-conversation about like sinners, and then he's just gonna say, "Cut it."
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, anyways, we'll get into some comments from last week's episode, which was focused heavily on The Last of Us season 2 premiere. One of the first comments was, or all three comments come from Absta 1995. The first one, he says, "chopped," LMAO, because of Charlie saying Ellie's ex was chopped. And then he
Shout out to that guy, bro. Shout out to that guy.
Oh my God, I was cracking up whenever I saw that comment. Then he comments again, and he says, "I thought the episode was decent, but wasn't a fan of them showing the dance scene early, and they only have 6 episodes left to do the rest of Ellie's half of the story." Wild. Which we'll circle back to that after I read all the other ones. And then he said again, to answer the changes thing, yes, changes are okay, but that doesn't mean you have to like every change. I like the changes for Bill in season 1, for example, but yeah, we just got to let them cook for now. I definitely have doubts though, and it seems like a lot of people do. Which is something that we mentioned.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot. Yeah, last week.
Yeah. We'll see. The one that really scares me the most is the whole Seth stuff, where they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna see Seth's backstory and everything." And it's like, cool.
I saw somebody on Twitter said something funny. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like, "Oh, they're gonna give him a justification for being homophobic" or something like that. Like, which, like, I don't think they're gonna do that. But
I had seen somebody say that his family was killed by lesbian clickers, and so that's like his villain origin story.
That's crazy.
And then, the whole 6 episodes left to do the rest of Ellie's half of the story. We'll talk about the Last of Us, their second episode later, because I feel like a lot of that will cover what they did in this, or how the rest of the season looks in terms of pacing wise and structure wise. But Absta 1995, holy crap! Thank you for the 3 awesome comments last week.
Seriously.
Anybody else can also feel free to comment. We will read it live here on the pod. Anything. Drop a slur. Drop a spoiler. I don't know, something. maybe don't drop a spoiler. That's where we'll draw the line at spoilers.
Yeah. We gotta be careful about reading that stuff for Ben's sake. And dude, imagine people who've already seen Thunderbolts in the comments of this one. So please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, slurs, perfectly fine. Spoilers, no. I'm kidding. I'm only kidding. All right, that takes us to our first bit of news, our first topic of the day, and that is me and Brandon and our thoughts on Thunderbolts.
Lucky sons of bitches.
Charlie, we probably could have snuck you in. They did not check anything. You probably could have.
Really? What?
It was super relaxed. It was really relaxed.
What the flip?
Yeah. I will start off by saying this is the first time that I've gotten to see the Fantastic Four trailer in IMAX. This is the first time that I got to see the IMAX countdown in Fantastic Four version. And I teared up.
Charlie doesn't even know what that means. Charlie doesn't.
Oh
even
yeah,
know.
the little.
I don't know what that is.
It's the little count. I can't even. I don't even know. I can't even explain it.
I get you though, Aiden. I get you.
Yeah, I'll send.
Okay, well, hold on. Real quick? I was going to talk about this when we get to Sinners, but I'm driving 3 hours on Friday to go watch Sinners again in IMAX.
In IMAX?
Yes. So am I going to get to see what you guys are talking about?
No,
Let's go.
I think it's a Disney movie thing.
I don't think they'll play it for. Yeah.
Okay.
But you'll get to see the countdown. I mean, you'll get to see the IMAX countdown, right?
Yeah.
No, I think the IMAX countdown's tied to like Disney films. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but just the regular one.
Oh yeah, that one. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
was there a countdown thing for Oppenheimer? And I just don't remember.
We
saw
it.
Okay.
There had to have been. Anyways, I got to see both of those in IMAX because I hadn't got to see the trailer or the countdown at all. The last IMAX movie I went to was Joker. So I hadn't got to see any of that in a while. Yeah. So for it to be there, it was awesome. I teared up both times. It was great. I thought that was fun. The movie fucking bangs. The movie fucking bangs. I am very comfortable saying that this is a solid, very, very solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. Easy 9 out of 10.
Jeez.
I had an amazing time with it. If you love Florence Pugh, you'll love the movie.
Yeah,
if you love commentary on mental health, you'll love the movie. It definitely feels like one of the more carefully thought out Marvel movies. One of the more carefully structured Marvel movies. They do a lot of really cool things in here that is just not cookie cutter cape shit. It is not at all. The creative choices in here. It's so hard to dance around, but the creative choices are absolutely my
best dance
my
around it,
favorite.
boy. Best dance around it. Best believe I hear a spoiler, I'm hopping on a plane, bitch. I'm hopping on a plane. I'll smack the shit out that shit.
Did you see what I Snapchatted you earlier? What I texted you?
No, I didn't because like the joke, even if you were actually, so I don't know if you have because I haven't seen it, but I was gonna because you said also I'll spoil it for you, and I said bet, and then I was gonna have you do it, and I was just never gonna open it. I was just gonna leave you undelivered until the movie came out. I
sent you a huge spoiler.
Shut up, boy.
So,
I bet it's something fake.
The creative choices in here are by far and away my favorite part. My favorite parts of the movies. Because I don't know, you look at a Thunderbolts movie, and I told Brandon this after the movie. You look at a Thunderbolts movie, and you're like, all right, well, what villain do we use? Like, how do we make this? Like, do we just take this super grounded and just have a straight fastball down the middle, like Brave New World, where it just comes and goes in a way. The way that they tackle doing that with a Thunderbolts team is genuinely so fucking impressive and is 1,000% my favorite part of the movie. I cried twice, dude, and I cried two more. I teared up 2 other times at just how much fun I was having with the movie. So yeah, I'm all in for this. I can't wait to hear y'all's thoughts. It's fantastic. And if I swear to God, if we come out of this and y'all have seen the movie and y'all come here and y'all are like, I don't know what the fuck Aiden was smoking, I will genuinely never record an episode with y'all. All right, I think that's kind of true, man. Brandon, what were your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, I had a little blurb I wrote trying to figure out how to do the best non-spoiler, and it was Thunderbolts is a breath of fresh air that Marvel has desperately needed for a while. It reminds you that they can still tell grounded stories without relying solely on cameos. I think the movie does a great job of making these characters that like Ghost and Taskmaster, people who I don't care about, make me actually care, make them interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the biggest pro to the movie is that by the end you genuinely care about the team. I was a little lower than Aiden. I was about a 4 out of 5 or an 8.5 because I think there's some pacing issues, and we'll eventually talk about, or Aiden will, about some of the CGI. But I think everything in the movie is great. I think Bob's actor phenomenal. I actually cannot imagine anybody else playing that role. After seeing it, I'm
Yeah.
actually,
Even
I was
Steven
like,
Yeun.
I cannot.
I have a hard time imagining
Wow.
him doing it over. Is it Lewis?
Louis
Pullman.
Pullman, yeah.
Coleman.
Yeah, he is. I thought he just
Dang.
captured it so well. They,
Oh.
yeah, but I mean, I thought it was great. I had such a phenomenal time with it. I do think it's like we discussed, like ranking it. I think it's like a top 15 for me. And I just, yeah, it's high. I mean, I had such
It's
a great
top
time
10.
with it.
It's top 10 for me. It's top 10.
Damn. Oh my
because-
God, I'm so
Dude,
vindicated.
Because
coming
I
from
can-
Aiden?
I can see myself rewatching this movie so many different times. Like I don't know. I fell in love with the way that it's structured, and you know how we just kind of uncover all these different things about the characters, to where, you know, as you keep going, you're like, oh man, this is awesome. This is fucking great. And then you get to that third act, and it's just all downhill.
So
from
crazy. There was a moment in the third act where I have never had an audience just all audibly gasp together, and I was like, oh, what is
Oh,
the movie? What is this movie?
There was genuine, oh shit! Like there was like, oh fuck, they just did that. And then from that point on, I mean, it's just so fascinating, man. Like I can't praise enough everything they do in that third act. Now, if you take bias out, if you're thinking about this really critically, you can look at what they do and you can be like, okay, well, yeah, I get it. You know, I get why you did what you did. It's great, but you know, I would have preferred this, or like, you know, I could see people saying, I think it would have been cooler if they just did that. I personally really like how they tackled the problem of the whole, you know, what are the Thunderbolts gonna do against like Thanos? You know what I mean? Like these are a bunch of like assassins. There's even a little joke that one of them makes, like, well, okay, can anybody fly? Like no, not really. So but even like them making that joke, I feel like that's them just showing that they're aware of like this roadblock that they have, that and like watch how we navigate it and watch how we make it compelling. And I think that's exactly what they did, and they landed that for me, and that's why I'm so high on it. I feel like that might not land for a lot of other people, but if you can kind of just take it as, you know, the principle of making a Thunderbolts movie, I think you can look past it and enjoy it a lot for what it is.
Yeah, I would say the biggest criticism I could see coming out is if people don't like Yelena or Red Guardian already, they're like pretty much the heart and soul of the movie. That if you aren't attached to them or don't have any like interest in those characters, you could turn away and be like, yeah, I don't care for this. But I have a hard time imagining after watching this you'd feel that way. But if you already had a bias going in, I could see that. Because none of these characters, it's all just kind of like dropped in post their projects. So like there's no build up to who they are. It's just, hey, we expect you to know, and let's just keep moving.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring in like the aspect of, because a lot of people complained about it after the announcement of the Avengers Doomsday cast. Was that a factor in it here at all to you guys? Like, was the movie at all like disappointing? Were the stakes disappointing in any sort of way because you knew that these characters were going to be portrayed again in Doomsday, or did that thought even cross your mind whatsoever?
I mean, I didn't even think about that, truthfully.
I didn't at all. Yeah.
So you still felt the stakes, you would say? Like they still felt tangible?
Just
You got.
I mean, you have. You have to know to some extent that like, yeah, they'll be back in Doomsday. So like, I mean,
that's never really been like and this will definitely be a discussion we have after y'all watch the movie, but it's never really like been a huge point of contention for me. Um, whereas if I were watching this and I didn't know that any of them returned, I feel like I'd kind of feel the same way. But again, I don't really know for sure because I know that they're returning in Doomsday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not too sure how that what that did for me, stakes wise. I will say I didn't come out of this being like, oh yeah, but because I know they returned, like that was not a part of any of my criticisms or praise of the movie at all. If that answers the question.
Sure.
Without
It
really
seems like the
answering it.
highlights for people from everything I've seen, and including you guys, is like the emotional aspect and the heart of the story, and it's very character focused more so than
100%. And that's why, Charlie, I know that's your shit, and so that's why I'm
Yeah.
like, I think you will love the character work that they do in here, especially everything with the characters themselves, and not so much how they interact with people or people in their surroundings or in their lives, more so just like them and like their past and things that they have to grapple with. That is really cool. There's a shot like in the third act towards the end of maybe about 10 minutes away from the end of the movie, where you're like, oh man, I fucking love this team. This is fucking awesome. I like, it's just great. They all just fit together so well because of that journey that we just went on. At the beginning of the movie, or like again, even when they released the pictures of the picture of the team from Comic-Con, we all know what the discussion was like. We all were a part of that discussion. And when I saw that shot in the movie down there towards the end, I was like, I just had a big ass smile on my face. I was like, this is great. This is awesome. So yeah, it's such a good time, man. It's such a good time.
My next question would be like, I guess it kind of works. It's a roundabout question for multiple different projects, but mainly I was thinking about, because I've seen the most praise, as you guys mentioned, for Yelena and Red Guardian. Should I rewatch Black Widow? And also, is there any other projects that you guys think are like definite need to rewatch? Not to understand it, but just to like, refresh your brain on like these characters.
I would 1,000% rewatch Black Widow.
Okay.
In prep for it. Not so much like I wouldn't say it's like watch all the X-Men movies before Doomsday or before Deadpool and Wolverine, but more so just like if you really want to immerse yourself in the main aspect of this movie, then I'd say for sure Black Widow. I wouldn't really say anything else really. I guess Falcon and Winter Soldier if you felt like it, but I don't really think that'd be I would say if there were only one project you could rewatch before this, I'd say Black Widow.
Damn, bro. Falcon and Winter Soldier still getting hate 4 years later. That's crazy. Still everybody saying don't watch it. Man, fuck y'all, bro.
I saw somebody who watched the early screening, and they always do like asking people for thoughts straight out of the theater, and they just do it for any big movie release that they go to. Mm-hmm. And so I saw that, I think today he posted it, and so I want your guys' obviously dodging all the spoilers, but are the post-credit scenes actually as goated as some people are believing them to be, where you're like, okay, wait, they're actually like they're cooking, we're starting to get back to like connected storylines. We know where this is going.
We had
y'all got to be real careful here. Y'all got to be real careful.
Yeah, it's crazy that Reed Richards blows up and dies. Like,
right, get him out, bro. Get him out. Get him out. He was here for 25 minutes. Get him out.
We had a discussion about this in the car because I feel like it was a little overhyped with the post-credit scenes. I feel like it does do a good job of like kind of establishing where we're going, and like obviously it feels nice to be building back towards something, but at the same time it was like I don't know. Everybody like social media reaction being like, "This is one of the best post-credit scenes of all time." I just don't know if I feel that way. There's definitely a lot of cool things it does, but I don't know. I'm a little
Yeah.
mixed on it, but that's like a spoiler discussion on why I feel that way.
Yeah. It's 1,000% OG Marvel. I mean, it definitely brings back that feeling of like this post, like, oh my god, hell yeah, like this is what I felt coming out of this movie a couple years ago, coming out of this movie, watching this post credit scene, things like that. And so I, in the sense of are we back in terms of post credit scenes and how they're done, like this one, yes. It'll be funny to see what y'all think of it though, because I don't know, the whole post credit scene thing discussion that we have all the time is I don't know, it's always one of my favorite ones because it's always why couldn't this just be there at the end of the episode or at the end of the movie? Or it's like, oh my gosh, this post credit scene was stupid or useless. I don't know. I feel like every time we get somewhere, y'all two have interesting post credit scene takes. I liked it a lot. I think it's just it's like, here we go. We're back in the full swing. It definitely gave me the most like, we're back and I fucking love this universe and I'm so here for it than I've felt watching a post credit scene in a long time. I'll say that.
It did feel much better than the post-credit scenes that are like Thor: Love and Thunder, where here's Hercules, or Eternals, where here's Star Fox and Black Knight. It does feel a lot better than just, hey, here's a character or something that is obviously maybe never going to pay off. Like this one actually feels like we're building towards something.
Yeah, you feel those, like you feel that like impending doom. You feel it, bro, watching that post credit scene. And
so it's like what you were supposed to feel after the last one, with the Captain America one, where they try to manufacture that.
Yeah, imagine that feeling if it actually held weight. Like that's how this one. It's like it's some good shit. You're cooking, you're excited, you're looking forward to whatever's next, and so it's a great post credit scene in that regard. It's one of the best ones in the most recent years, I'd say. So yeah, I temper expectations though. Don't go in expecting the craziest thing ever. Just expect some good shit. Do not read the credits. Do not read the credits before.
The credits?
Actually,
oh, does it say who's in the post credit scene?
There's something there. That's all I'll say. There's something there where you're like, what the fuck is that doing there? And I looked at Brandon and I was like, why the fuck is that there?
You can hear our audience like start to like put it together real quick.
Yeah, and then the scene plays out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all. Just don't.
So before the mid credits or
after? It's the
wow. So post credit.
The post credit scene, is the one that. Which that's what that's what we were talking about. It's like usually it's the mid credit and then the post is a joke. This one, it's at the very end, and I don't know if that's intentional for anything, but it definitely hits that feeling. It gives you that feeling. So, but don't read the credits.
My final question for you guys. I don't know how much you guys have been online since then, since watching it on Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. How, if you have been, how hard do I need to be dodging spoilers right now? Should I go in? Should I mute the words? Are you guys seeing a lot of like actual spoiler
mute the
stuff?
words?
Okay.
Yeah, mute the words. There's been I actually saw a tweet earlier that was like spoilers, and that's all it said. It just said spoilers, so it could be for anything. It could be for The Last of Us, and you're like, oh, I'm good. And then it broke down the two post credit scenes, word by word, of what they were.
Damn, really?
Yeah. So just mute Thunderbolt stuff.
Mute the word spoilers, I guess.
mute spoilers. Mute post credit scene. I would say just cover all your bases. Go into it blind. Go into the movie blind. Go into the post credit scene blind. Just to restore that feeling a bit. Just to live in the golden days of Marvel again, where you're not just like spoiled by everything and you go in and you're like, oh, I already know this post-credit scene is overrated. I'm just going to watch it for whatever. Like, just I'd say for this movie, just soak it in, be in the moment, and I think it'll heighten your experience quite a bit. Bless
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Because this was like one of the first. I know for sure for Brandon it was like one of the first movies that it's just like nothing spoiled, no post credit scene spoiled. You didn't even get hints or tidbits of things.
Okay, see, but you guys got to see it 2 weeks early.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like,
lucky bitches.
Go ahead and jump on all of that so that you can also have that feeling.
Aiden already sent me a spoiler on Snapchat though, so I'm fucking screwed.
I don't even get to go like typical opening night. I don't
true.
get to
You
go
guys gotta
till
wait.
next Saturday.
Yeah, you gotta wait till Saturday. That's crazy, boy.
Wow. This I'll be interested to see what opening night will be like here. I mean, not that there's a lot of reaction moments, but you know. Actually, let me check and see what how tickets are looking for opening night here.
Oh, yeah, I should check mine actually too. That's a good call. I was the first person, I think, in my town to buy. Not that that's a flex.
Because you live in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, you said my town has more people than your town, buddy. Your old town, whatever you used to live. I don't care, bro. I don't care. I just decided mid conversation. I don't care. Shut up.
Stupid.
That's what you say when you're like.
I just decided mid conversation. Are there any other questions?
Not that I can think of.
No,
I'm rearing to go, man. I'm rearing to go.
Yeah, I actually would prefer that you would stop talking about it.
Yeah.
That was the fakest laugh I've ever heard Aiden put
out. Shut up, dude. I hate when people do that. I hate when people fucking do that. Like, don't call out my fake laugh. I'm just trying to make you feel better.
That was mine right there. That was mine.
Yeah, whatever. Tickets. They're like slowly filling up, but I'll wait for the Rotten.
That's kind of dead.
To come out.
That's crazy. Did I pick the wrong time?
Yeah.
Do I need to refund? Or is just there's no motion for Thunderbolts in my town?
I don't even get to see in IMAX because, and I don't understand this at all. I think this is so stupid. So IMAX, they always do it in like 3-hour increments. So there's an IMAX at 1, 4, 7, and 10 p.m. And it's always like 7 p.m. Perfect. But for some reason with Thunderbolts, the 4 p.m. and the 7 p.m. every single day during opening weekend, those are 3D showings. So if I wanted to see it in just normal IMAX, I either have to go at 1 p.m. or I have to go at 10 p.m.
Damn.
So stupid.
That's gross.
So I don't get to see it in
That's
IMAX.
gross.
I'm just watching it in super screen, which is better than standard, but still kind of dumb.
Super screen.
Well, that is our thoughts on Thunderbolts. It's a great movie. If this and Fantastic Four is a banger, oh my god, man, you might have to bring me back down to earth a little bit, gearing up for
Bro said if. You see that last trailer, buddy? You said if.
Oh my god, I was praying that they would play that one. I told Brad, I was like, if they play this new Fantastic Four trailer, I'm going to sob. Like, I will cry. And they played the first one, and I still teared up. So, yeah.
Damn.
Oh man, we're not even gonna get to talk about that new trailer today, because that came out after last week's episode. But we just have so much.
That's true.
Amazing, fucking amazing.
Yeah,
trailer.
just like little tiny.
Sobbed.
I cried. I cried as well. Like
it was awesome.
That's all I can say, man. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, when I watched it and I just sent my gut reaction to the group chat. I was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, which is crazy coming from Ben. Like, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
For him to say that is the greatest thing I've ever. I was like, oh man, yeah. I think this is the best trailer I have ever seen. Dune 2 was originally my favorite. I think this is the best trailer I've ever seen. It was awesome. Okay, that gets us into our list update. Brandon, you're welcome to stick around and kind of talk about our list if you want. But if you got,
I'm willing to defend Ben and his picks because.
Come on, man, give it to me.
God, bro. That is crazy.
That's
We're starting off like
hilarious.
that.
Charlie, do you
That
have
is
all
crazy. I do. I'm about to share it.
the stuff?
I have not updated it yet, so I will be updating it as we go here. But
Just to start, or just to remind everybody, this is a list that we drafted about a month ago now, maybe a little bit more. Episode 78, I believe. You can go back and check that out. Or let me see, episode 79.
that had to have been, that was like almost 3 months ago.
Almost 3 months ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 79, we drafted 5 projects from this year, and we are going to, at the end of the year, we're going to add up all the Rotten Tomato points, and we will see who had the best list of 2025. And everyone, we can go through all of our picks right now just to refresh people, and then we can go and get updates, because some of these projects have had points added up in the past week, and so that is what we're doing. I'll start off with my list. I had Mickey 17, which that already came out this year. Both the scores were in the 70s, so that only garnered me 2 points, and that's all I have so far. Mickey 17, The Bear season 4, Stranger Things season 5, Fantastic Four, and I had Avatar: Fire and Ash. I drafted it and I dropped it and put Marty Supreme on there to play defense. Benjamin?
My picks were Andor Season 2, Ballerina, the John Wick spin-off movie, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Daredevil Born Again, and Superman.
My picks, number 5 was Thunderbolts. My number 4 previously was the Michael Jackson biopic movie that was originally slated to come out this year, but because that got pushed back like 1 or 2 weeks ago, I had since changed it to Sinners. Then number 3 is Wake Up Dead Men, the third Knives Out movie. Number 2 was Invincible season 3, and number 1 was The Last of Us season 2. And so just to talk about mine a little bit of an update on Sinners, because last week there was no audience score yet for the movie. I think it was funny that these two, I remember I was rewatching the episode because these two, they thought it was going to debut at like an 80 or an 87 or something like that. Yeah. And it debuted at I think a 98 or a 97, and it's been up there ever since.
Crazy.
So
wild.
That adds, I was already sitting at 5, or no, I have to change that. That's 4 actually, because the critic score
dropped to a 98.
Yeah, dropped to a 98. So I'm actually at 15 then. But then the audience score gives me another 3 points added onto that. So 7 points total, bringing me up to 18. And I already added Ben's points up. I'll let Ben say his little blurb about Andor Season 2. But Andor Season 2 so far, I say so far, I don't think it's going to change too much. Maybe the audience score as the show goes on, but we'll see. Did it debut at a 99%?
It was like a 97, I think.
97? Okay. Well, it's up to 99% now.
Yeah.
And the audience score, I don't know what it debuted at, but it's currently sitting at an 80%, which gives Ben 7 points as it currently stands.
The first thing I'll say is the funny little interaction that happened in the group chat. We were talking the other day, I think it was on Monday, and Aiden was just like, yo, why haven't they dropped the Andor Season 2 Rotten Tomatoes score yet? Season 2 literally drops tomorrow. And we were talking about it, and then literally later that day, it debuts at like a 98%. And he had said, like, I wonder if they're hiding it because it's like not that good.
And then I was like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I heard some of the earlier reactions that happened like a week ago before the scores dropped, and people were saying it was better than the first season, which already had a really good critic score. And man, I mean, I think I said this earlier in the group chat, but just Star Wars fans, like, it's getting on my nerve a little bit that, like, I understand a lot of the reasons why Star Wars fans complain. I've had a lot that I've complained about. But when we finally get something good like Andor, why can't we just be happy? And 80% after just the first 3 episodes is criminal, in my opinion. I think that's crazy. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I could see it going a little bit lower, or maybe, if the season gets better and is talked about more, then more people will end up watching it. More reviews come in. Maybe it goes up. Who knows? So that's the only part that's a little upsetting. And maybe I'm reading into it too much, but otherwise I'm very happy that it debuted with such a good score. I'm also just happy because I'm a big fan of season 1, so I was looking forward to this anyways. So I'm really excited I haven't seen the first 3 episodes yet. I know you guys are still a little bit behind on season 1. I'm just excited to get another great season of Andor because I love that show so much. So very happy with that, and also some good points. I'm not gonna complain. 7 points, I'll take it.
You got your Sinners, basically the greatest reviewed movie of the decade. You have it. That's wild.
Very true. Very true. Aiden is trugging behind with those measly 2 points, but Ben and I've currently had the most projects already airing so far with The Last of Us Season 2, Invincible Season 3, and Sinners. And then I'm going to have Thunderbolts next week. So that's going to leave me with one more thing on my list, whereas Aiden has only had one thing on his list so far come out. So his next one isn't going to be until the end of June with The Bear, Season 4.
Yeah, it'll flow into Fantastic Four, and I'll have 2 back-to-back. And then from October to December will be my last 2 projects. I honestly, right now for Thunderbolts, if I had to give my Rotten Tomatoes guess, and then Brandon can give his, a lot of variables, which we talked about in the car. I'll let Brandon.
I don't know if I trust Aiden's guesses. All right, he guessed an 80 something.
Yeah. I mean,
well, hey, have you seen his picks? I mean,
all right. I didn't. All right, you know what? I didn't bring you here to bash my list. All right. I think Thunderbolts, I can say probably 87, 83.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think it'll be somewhere in the 80s. I'd be pleasantly surprised if we hit 90s for it, but I would be shocked if it doesn't just stay in the 80s.
But I feel like 90s is very plausible.
I feel like this is a pretty reasonable take from what I've heard and from what you guys said.
Yeah. So Thunderbolts, I mean, that's another 3 or 4, 5 points maybe. That's not bad.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how Ben's list is gonna check out as we continue on. Because I mean, those Andor points, that kind of bums me out that they are lined up with Sinners so much. But whatever. Mission Impossible, I'm sure, is going to be a big one for him. But we'll see.
I want to hear Brandon's thoughts. I know Brandon has been.
Of course you do.
Yeah, you want to get gassed, buddy.
I know.
You want to get gassed.
Well,
you get it.
I mean, someone who's been keeping up with the list throughout the year and whatnot. Like, I want to get an outside perspective because all we do is talk trash with each other.
Yeah.
I gave Aiden a lot of shit for when they were shitting on your list, Ben, because I felt like you had the most reasonable one, other than Superman is such a wild card with review bombing. I think it'll score so high with critics, but I just think the Snyder fans have tainted everything. I mean, just looking at Last of Us, I told Aiden too on that. I was like, that was such an easy review bomb. Like, I knew, regardless of quality, that there are people that have not gotten over the game from 5 years ago that are going to turn out just to review bomb. Ballerina is the one I'm most curious about on the list altogether because test audiences have been super high on it, comparing it to like some of the best of the Wicks. And so I'm just hoping that I mean, I want it to be good, but I also, since they shit on you so much, I want it to also be good so you can just, destroy Aiden and his picks. I told him he should have reached out to me. I was like, what are you picking the Bear season 4 for?
Whoa.
Yeah,
well, hold on.
Let's pump the brakes on the Bear slander.
Season 3 sets up for a fantastic season 4, all right? Season 3 was terrible. I'll give you that. But season 4 might be peak. Who knows?
Yeah, well, it could be. It could be that, or it could be a dumpster fire. I'm really like, I
Yeah.
never thought I would feel that way about The Bear watching the first 2 seasons, but 3 has done such damage to me that I'm like, I hope 4 can redeem it.
Mhm.
But I mean, I also told that Aiden Marty Supreme is such a wild card too. I think that's like such a critic darling movie, but I don't know how audiences will.
Well, yeah,
Do
I had
that.
went over the art this article I saw. The cinematographer was which granted I told Brandon, I mean he's working on the movie. Of course, he's gonna have nothing but positive things to say. But he was saying it's unlike anything in cinema right now, which is like, yeah, that sounds like great Oscar bait. That sounds like critics are gonna be head over heels for it. Um, so we'll see. It'd be nice if it were just like a smooth little 99, and then audiences were like, "Oh, this is fine, 83." Like I'd even take that. And then the Bear season 2 has a 99 and a 92. Like if season 4 was peak and I ended up dropping it to like play defense, I would hate myself if I just didn't draft the Bear season 4, and those scores are as good. I think Stranger Things season 5 is going to be incredibly high, just because.
Oh yeah, as a finale
it's
season, I think
loved.
people are
It's
going to
adored.
just rate it higher than it probably deserves potentially.
Yeah.
Unless
And then
it's bad.
Fantastic. I think Thunderbolts is a great stepping stone for a high Fantastic Four Rotten Tomatoes score.
Whoa, but he's trying to use mine to uplift his. Isn't that crazy?
I think that's exactly how it's going to work out. The
I
whole
def-
we're back, let's check out this movie, and then if that one's good, they're already riding the high. I think it could shape out like that.
I think the Superman pick, like I know that's kind of my kryptonite, no pun intended. But yeah, nice fake laugh.
What the fuck am I getting bullied for so hard this episode? It's crazy.
No, but like I think I told Aiden this beforehand. I have considered using my swap for Superman. I feel great about everything else. Like Mission
Yeah.
Impossible and Ballerina are going to be good for critic and audience, like basically no matter what. Like they're not going to be low. Superman audience score is the biggest thing that I'm worried about. And I thought about switching it out, and I'm still considering it. But I almost like, to me, this is almost like Charlie picking Thunderbolts. Like I am sticking with, I want this project to be well received. I want it to be good. So I'm putting it on my list and just putting all my cards there. And that's what it is. And so like the fan in me and the person who wants the DC universe to succeed under James Gunn wants to keep this on my list. But, if I'm going for points, I have thought about some substitutes coming later this year, and I'm still not sure what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Brandon was mentioning some to me, but I'm like, man, I need Marty Supreme to get delayed like here soon. So I think
I think that's a likelihood. I
do
think
too.
that's a likelihood.
I think it's still
really, I think it'll. I mean, I think there's no way it doesn't come out this year.
Really? Why are you so
Well, I
confident?
mean, they said that production was done last or December, a couple months ago. That production was done, and now they're like in the process of just wrapping up the film. And
See,
that they have.
I was seeing some stuff that I
Christmas
thought they were
date.
still filming it. So maybe I might.
Well, but
change.
Really,
if they're really confident in it for an Oscar, they could delay it to next year, thinking they have a better shot at a Best Picture.
It's true. After Sinners and
Yeah.
everything.
well, if that's the case, kind of opens my board up a little bit. If everything else performs really good, and then I can get a little sneaky Sinners in there, like Charlie. Who knows? But
Hey, whoa, okay. I had to
I'm
swap,
here to-
all right?
I'm here to. I've said this before. I'll say it, I'm here to gatekeep the other cool projects. So I'll fight for second place.
The only thing you have that I wanted was Fantastic Four.
Yeah, so when it comes out and you're all hype about it, all you're gonna be able to think about is, oh shit, that's on Aiden's list. And that's all I'm here for.
It still ain't getting Sinners 98, buddy. So that's fine with me.
Hey, you never know.
Oh, I know though.
You know what? I take it back. Thunderbolts was shit.
You can't ruin this train, buddy. This train is going all the way, pal.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
sure.
I'm looking at projects, and I'm just thinking.
Hey, who knows? Maybe here in the next couple weeks, Ben can come and shock us all.
Yeah,
With,
Ben, what would you swap Superman for, real quick? I still have a swap too, but I just want to. I'm just curious.
I mean, do you want me to tell? I'll tell you what I'm considering.
No, yeah, you should actually, because I'm not planning on swapping anything actually. So
Nothing is like a standout. Like, oh, absolutely, I want to do that. But I looked at the Wicked sequel. It's coming out later this year. First one did pretty good. Of course, How to Train Your Dragon. My concern is the audience score. There's too big of a crowd of like, we didn't want this movie, so that's gonna affect things. Even though the early reactions from its screening was really good. I mean, I think Avatar: Fire and Ash is still a really good pick. To be honest, like, I think it was a mistake swapping that out and leaving it on the board.
Wait, what? I feel like you attacked me. I feel like you and I both were like, Aiden, I don't know about that one, pal. That's a crazy.
Yeah, y'all were because I was attached to it. That's crazy.
That's how I was a good. I feel like we played into Aiden switching off of it.
I think the reason we had
Ben's
a
playing
reaction
some
was
fucked up mind games right now.
no. It's because he picked it first draft pick.
Yeah,
I thought that was crazy. I think
should have went Invincible.
I think it's a good pick.
But you hadn't see that's the downside of you didn't watch season 2, so
yeah. And then even like random little films not little, but random other films that are coming out, like the new 28 Years Later, Predator Badlands, just because of how good Prey was, stuff like that like they feel a bit more like wild cards, but they're still like, just considering.
There's still time to put Until Dawn on your list, Ben. Still time, buddy.
Yeah. Actually, no, Ben. The game was, dude.
It was one of the best games of all time. Better than Last of Us.
It might be a banger. Go ahead, just do it.
You should do it, dog. Trust.
There's a new movie coming out this weekend on Netflix from the Raid director Gareth Evans. He directed the 2 Raid movies, which are some of my favorite action movies of all time. I'm not gonna lie, I almost that low key was on my consideration when we originally made the draft.
No way.
I had some random stuff on there where like I think at that point I hadn't fully embraced like, oh yeah, we're doing this also for scores. It was kind of just like ones that I'm excited for.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so that changed my perspective absolutely. But I am really excited for that movie coming out this weekend.
I'm sitting so comfy. I know we keep talking about it. Yeah, shut up. I'm sitting so comfy that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking ahead to 2026, baby.
Buddy,
I'm
you have
one
one project. Of course, you're comfy. You have one project that doesn't come out till November. Of course, anybody would be comfy right there.
I'm sitting comfy right now, pal.
I get a project every month. Last month I got Daredevil. This month Andor. And then next month, Mission Impossible, then Ballerina, then Superman.
Is Ballerina in May or June?
It's June,
okay.
yeah, and then Superman in July.
Dang, that's wild. Yeah.
Ben, you send me $20. I'll send you a recommendation I just sent to Aiden. So
$20? No way. That is crazy.
I need bribes, right? I need bribes.
You might, but you're not taking this. 11 points? Sheesh.
Stupid.
The downfall is going to go crazy, Charlie.
That concludes.
The Last of Us hurts me so bad.
Yeah.
Bro, the fact that The Last of Us matches Mickey 17, like that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's crazy, yeah, because it has a 95 critic. Like that's crazy.
It might even go down to 1.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
That's
2,500 ratings already. Let's check what the one is today, shall we? Can they beat woke?
That was pretty good.
No, it looks like they can't.
It's gonna be hard to top.
Somebody did say, "I'm done watching after episode 2." What the hell was that?
Whoa!
All right,
that's crazy. Just wait.
So
that's a good movie.
All right.
Too.
that wraps up our list update before we get carried away anymore. Mr. Brandalorian, the man of the hour, thank you for joining. If this is where you
Thank you for
sign
coming
off.
on, Brandon,
Yeah.
and rubbing it in my face some more, buddy.
Well, I'm going to go get a Switch 2 pre-order as well, Charlie. So.
Hey, I'm going to do it while on the podcast. I'm going to multitask it, all right?
Yeah, it was fun to have you back from the Flash episode.
Yeah, redeem myself.
Redeem yourself. I'm here to vouch for you.
Dude, we always have him on when he's watching something early, man. What the fuck?
I know. So yeah, it's great to have you here. And yeah, any last words?
No,
convince Charlie to watch One Piece.
Man, I wish you would, man. I think you're missing out. One of the greatest stories ever told. But thank you guys for having me. And thank you, Aiden, for going with me. So,
dude, literally anytime.
Adios, Brandon. Thank you,
Hey,
for coming
Brandon.
on, brother.
Thank you.
Later. All right, awesome. Back to the boys.
Now we just got one of the fucking Missouri losers, bro.
Oh, I could literally just ruin this movie for you.
Guess what?
So
and you'll have to edit it out of the podcast, buddy. You'll have to edit it out of the podcast.
Hey, there's a pause option. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Ain't no editing over here. Crazy. On to our next discussion. As we all know, we just talked about it a little bit. One of the best reviewed movies of the decade. After this, just a little insight. No one needs to say anything right now if they don't want to give away their thoughts. I want to revisit what we did for Dune 2, and that is look back at our top 4 movies of the 2020s. If y'all want, and nobody has to say anything, I want to hear from this man, Mr. Benjamin.
Pointing down at me. Sorry, I was finishing chewing some freeze-dried banana slices.
Oh, freeze-dried?
Gosh. Yeah.
I thought, man,
like
banana
a little
chips.
crispy.
Thought they were banana
basically.
chips.
They basically are. They're good. Anyways, oh man, where to start? I'll be honest. I saw the trailer for this movie whenever it came out, a couple months ago, whatever. I was just like, okay, Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, dynamic duo. They're at it again. And I love that combo. I have loved that combo. I haven't seen, what's it called, Fruitville Station. I've not seen that movie by Ryan Coogler.
Movie.
But I've seen the rest of the ones he's done with Michael B. Jordan. My favorite one definitely was Creed. So I was excited that Michael B. Jordan got a chance to step into the spotlight again. Even just the prospect of him playing a dual role was really exciting. I like when actors do that and do it well, and it has a purpose. So I was excited to see what that looked like. Otherwise, like watching the trailer, it's like, okay, some kind of vampire movie. Doesn't look all that interesting, but it's Ryan Coogler. Seems like he's doing something a little weird. We'll see what happens. And then the critic score dropped. And then the audience score dropped. And then another weird, like more specific one. I don't even know if you guys know this, but the cinema score dropped, which is essentially audiences are polled immediately after walking out of the theater, and then it gets an average letter grade. And Sinners got an A letter grade, which is the highest that a horror movie has received in over 35 years. Before that, it was the Conjuring movies, which got like A minuses or B pluses. I don't remember. Something like that. But it's been 35 years since a horror movie has gotten an A rating from CinemaScore. So all of this came out, and I didn't get to watch the movie until Monday. I spent a lot of time with family over Easter weekend. And so I was a couple days removed, but I had seen the hype. I had seen the Letterboxd average. I knew what people were thinking. I still didn't really know what I was in for with the movie. And I will be honest, I saw Aiden's review before I watched the movie, which Aiden's review on Letterboxd was something along the lines of like, this is the Dune Part 2 of 2025. Is what
for me. Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like I was like, what am I in for? But anyways, all of that just to get into the actual movie.
Here we go.
Holy crap. Like the first 2/3, just like this really interesting, deep, well-crafted character drama about these characters, these cousins, and their relationship, kind of just building this foundation. At some point, I forgot, like, oh yeah, this movie's about vampires. Like, that thought didn't even cross my mind for the first part of it, and I think I would have been okay with that. Like, if the movie was just, Michael B. Jordan and Miles Catan or Catton, I don't know how you say his last name, but Sammy. If like, it could have been a story just about them, and I was so enriched in this world and these characters that they set up, and just how well everything was structured and how it was filmed and edited, all of it just phenomenal. And then once you hit that 2/3 mark, you hit this switch, and it's just like everything in it, even though a lot of it plays into like genre tropes for like vampire movies or horror movies, it plays into a lot of those tropes and has a lot of those moments. But with how they set it up and how they pieced it together, it kind of transcended that. It's like, yeah, I'm watching things that like I've seen before, and it's very familiar territory, but it's done in a way that feels fresh and unique, and the way that it utilizes the different characters, and it's absolutely carried by two main things. One, the performances. Michael B. Jordan, Miles Catan, Haley Steinfeld, everybody. I mean, throw everybody on the list. And then two, music. Ludwig is incredible. I mean, I think after like Oppenheimer and this movie and a couple others that he did in previous years before that, like, he's still so early in his career that I see him being one of the greats when it comes to film composers. Mm-hmm. Absolutely incredible stuff. And so like the movie was wild. It was insane. Not what I expected at all. And by the end, I was just like, what did I just witness? Like, it was very much just like a shock. Like, I can't believe what I just saw. And just, I don't want to say like blew me out of the water, but like based on my expectations, it did kind of blow me away with how good it was. And the other thing I'll say, and I have more specifics, a lot more specifics that I want to talk about, but the only other thing that I'll say that I loved about this movie is once you reach a certain point, everything takes place in a single location for basically the rest of the movie. And when a movie can set that up and do that effectively, like this film does, I think that is like a testament to how well a movie is made. The fact that we can do all of this within such a short time frame and then just be in one place for most of the movie and it works is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So I'll leave it at that for now. I have a lot more specifics that I want to get into with editing, music, even IMAX specific things. Aiden, I don't know if you saw it in IMAX, but IMAX specific things. Won't go like too in depth on that just because Charlie.
Yeah, because I'm about to see it, man.
We'll get to experience it, but I want to talk about a lot more. But very, very good. Is not the Dune 2 of 2025 for me. Like, Dune 2 was just so big, so
Racism at
huge
its finest.
in scale. Okay, that's crazy. So large in scale, so huge, and to me, this like it still is like incredible. Best movie of the year, 9 out of 10 for me. Loved it absolutely. But it doesn't reach the heights of like Dune 2 is probably in my top 10 of all time movies. So.
Dune 2 might be one of my favorite movies ever. Like I'm talking about like top 5, top 3. It's great, yeah. But I told my fiance, I was like, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Oppenheimer, Dune 2, Sinners. It's just like,
dude, what?
The plethora of just like year like these are the movies of their year.
Jeez.
It's insane to like we got it. It's here. This is our Dune 2. This is our Oppenheimer for this year. Obviously not in terms of like 1-to-1 exact, but just how captivating and how great of a movie it is. Yeah, I had a blast. I think it's easily a 5 out of 5 for me. I was much of the same sentiment of like going through the movie. You're just like, man, this is awesome, dude. Like I care about all of these characters, and they're doing so much character work without like holding our hand through anything. Like you just see Stacks kind of like shine away from Mary, and you just and then what she says, and like you left, and you had me waiting here. You could tell, okay, this dude's kind of all about his women. Like he's that's just the type of guy he is. And then you see Smoke going and visiting his significant other, his wife, his spouse, and just kind of cradling up into her whatnot, however you want to take that, cradling up into her. And so you can already tell who these people are as people, and the character work and making me care enough about these characters to the point where I was like, oh, cool. Now I'm crying. What is going on? This, like, now I'm getting emotional during this. And I've gotten one of the coolest action sequences. Like, and at the same time, they're like preaching to me about all these like beautiful themes in this movie using vampires and using the vampires to kind of drive these different narratives. And now I'm sitting here crying. I thought it was so awesome. And of course the music, I mean, I cried about 5 different times, and it's not even because it was emotional, just in awe at like, oh my God, this is amazing, dude. Like the one that really got me, where I just like went like this in my seat, and I was just like, oh my God, was whenever we first see the vampire, I forget his name, Remick, where you see him kind of sitting like that with the claws out, with the blood all over his face. And then that's whenever you're like, oh, this is a vampire movie. Holy shit, I totally forgot. And they do this thing where like the music just thumbs in, and it's just like, and you see the full moon next to him. Like there were so many like, I feel like Ludwig, and I don't know if this was on purpose. I don't know if it's just like the vibes of the vampire stuff, but it felt like a lot of the score was reminiscent of like, Donna, and that little bit of Thriller where it's like, I feel like a lot of the themes, the scores in this were very reminiscent of that, like hard hitting 2 notes, but just done in an old soul blues way. And so I don't know if that's just the vibes of the vampire stuff and it's an easy connection to draw, or if that was intentional, but regardless, it was awesome and it hit every single time. I didn't watch it in IMAX, but I watched it in Dolby, and I'm going to watch it in IMAX on Tuesday, right after I go and watch Revenge of the Sith on Monday. So yeah, it was awesome.
Nerd shit, bro.
I'm so excited to go see it
Saturday.
in IMAX. There you go. Dude, a chance to go see episode 3 in theaters. Oh my God, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a hell of a time. It was awesome, dude. It was definitely one of the coolest movies I've ever seen. I'm excited to talk about because at first I was like, should I even bring up the top 5 of the 2020s list? Like we did that for Dune 2, but we all loved it. I don't know what Ben thinks of it. Like I don't know what the sentiment is. So I'm glad, Ben, that you're at least like, hey, this is a 9, 4.5, 9 out of 10. And you can just tell us where it lands in your 2020s if it even lands in the top 5. But I'm glad that we have our big movie. It sucks that I was able to go see Thunderbolts early, because now it's like, do I make the title, we got to see Thunderbolts early, here's our review, and like make it a Thunderbolts episode, when it's like, man, but this was it. This was the big mamma jamma this week, and it was awesome, and I could easily put it as Sinners' best movie ever. But regardless, it's a great movie. Deserves its flowers. It deserves all the money possible. Yeah, I just literally one of the coolest crafted movies I have ever seen.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Let's go.
Oh man, dude, I can't tell you the song that they used for like the generations scene. First of all, that scene, of course, fantastic. I felt full body chills. I haven't felt full body chills in a long time. I feel chills when I watch trailers and stuff, but like literally all over my body. This one was that song. I Lied to You. I've listened to that every single day since the movie's come out. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about the movie, largely because of everybody talking about it online, but also just myself. Like, I think of every little scene that I loved and the intricacies of all of them. The performances especially. You guys talked about the characters, the side characters, and every character that they introduced, having them pretty much from the first moment that they're introduced, they're pretty like compelling, and I care about them and I understand them, with the exception of like maybe Haley Steinfeld's character Mary. Like, I just know that she's a jilted lover, but then as the next scene when at the juke joint, like they go further into her. But every other character like is interesting from the get-go, essentially. And I think that they handle them all extremely well, and I think that the moral questions from both the villain as well as just like the twins, like I think to the conversation of Smoke talking to Sammy about this is the last time you're going to perform in our juke joint, and they have that pretty, like, I don't know, intense heart to heart, I guess I would say. That was a great scene as well. But I talk about moral ambiguity when it comes to like Remick, him being Irish and wanting to make a friendly new group, including another group of marginalized people, and yet in a way he's also just doing it for his own personal gain. So he's no better than what happened to him and his people. So I think that's a crazy touchstone as well. I don't know, man. That's part of the reason why, like, I love Dune 2, right? And I probably should have driven 3 hours to go see that one in IMAX, but I didn't. And with this one, I could not be happier too, truthfully. Even though I feel like I'm going to feel like I did when we got out of Oppenheimer. I don't know necessarily that this is the right kind of movie that will benefit a ton from an IMAX experience. I do think I will see a benefit compared to now, especially because now I'll be able to compare them side by side. Whereas Oppenheimer, I only ever saw it the one time when we went and saw it. Any other time that I saw it after that was at my own house. So now I'll be able to compare, and maybe I'll see the difference a lot more. Because that's not to, I'm not, when I say that, I'm not trying to say that like IMAX is only good for like action movies or et cetera, et cetera. But I guess with Oppenheimer, I struggled to see it. So I hope that I can see why it's so great this time around. But Michael B. Jordan, fantastic. Whoa, was I done? Hey, chat, was I done? I didn't think I was done.
You are now, buddy. Anyways, back to what I was going to say. Oh my God, what are you doing? Let me add you in, bro.
Let me add myself back.
Keep going.
Michael B. Jordan's performance, of course, fantastic. Miles, I don't remember his last name, but the guy who plays Sammy.
Canton.
Miles Canton, thank
No,
you.
No. There's no N. It's Caton or Catan.
What? No.
Caton.
Oh, there's no N in the middle. I was like, you just said there's no N, and then you put an N at the end. I was like,
yeah, Canto, yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
Catton, Miles Catton or something.
Yeah.
his first performance, I guess, which was news to me, but he did a stellar job for it being his first performance. Like, holy cow. I know I think it's funny because I talked trash on Haley Steinfeld and how she picks movies last week, I believe, and like to come to this now and see. I don't think that she was. I don't know if she was up to par with like necessarily everybody else, but I don't think she was very far behind if she wasn't. The woman who I don't know her name. Is it Wenwu? No. Who's the woman who plays Annie from the MCU? She's in the MCU.
Who does she play in this movie?
Annie. She plays Annie.
Oh, Wunmi Mosaka?
Wenmi. That's okay. I said Wenwu.
Is it Wenmi? It's Wunmi.
Oh. Wuen? I don't know. But she was fantastic. I loved her role in this. Had a much bigger role than I thought she'd play in this, and I loved every second of it. I loved that she was the one that had like all of the knowledge about initially they set her up and like you kind of think, oh, she's very spiritual, like she's into like this mumbo jumbo nonsense, but like it was a factor in all of this and everything that was happening, and I super appreciated that. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I love the point that you brought up, Ben, about it's being in a fixed location throughout the entire film, and it still works, and you're not annoyed by it. You're seeing the same interiors, but they shoot it in different ways and like the different angles, which always keeps it interesting. Just when I think that I've seen every like nook and cranny of this place, like there's a fight towards the end of the movie between the two brothers. It's like. I don't know. It's super. I enjoyed that, and I found it very interesting.
Cousins.
They're brothers. They made that joke where he's like, "Are y'all brothers?" And they're twins. So he was like, "Nah,
wait.
we cousins."
Wait. I hope you're okay. That was a joke, right, Ben?
It's a reference to the movie.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know if you actually thought he was serious when they said they were cousins.
They made it pretty clear.
Yeah, they call them twins and whatnot in the movie. So you'd be surprised, bro. I had a conversation today with somebody who it went over their head. A lot of the stuff in the movie. Anyway,
are you almost done?
Oh my gosh, bro! I can't talk about one of my favorite movies of all time. Ben doesn't want to hear about it because you know why, chat? You know why? You know what I just said earlier when he was talking about it? Just keep that in mind, chat. Just keep that in mind, chat.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
You said that
he said you're Rimic, basically. He said you're Rimic.
All about inclusivity. Let's all be in one community.
Because he was like sinners in the same conversation as Dune 2. That's despicable. And I was like, racism at its finest, buddy. Racism at its finest.
That's great.
No, and I don't. Truthfully, this is going to sound bad, I guess, but I don't remember what I put on my top 5 for the 2020s. I'm sure Everything Everywhere All at Once was on there. But speaking of which, I actually wanted to bring this up. Did you write mine down too?
No, but I've never written it down. So I wrote down my like top 10 basically of the 2020s.
Oh, okay.
I have my letterbox list. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never kept a list of it, so I looked and then just so I could give Aiden an actual answer.
I think it's funny that almost every year, like we have this time of year, we have a movie that comes out that is like universally praised. Within the past couple of years, we've seen that anyway. I think 2023 was a gap year for that. But what came out 2023?
Across the Spider-Verse, Oppenheimer.
Well, sure, but I'm talking about like the March April time frame specifically, because like everything everywhere all at once was 2022, and then 2024 was Dune, and then now we're at Sinners.
Yeah, I see.
But yeah, Oppenheimer. Yeah, I would agree for just if we're talking about movies for the entire year. But yeah.
The only reason I asked if you were done is because I was going to touch on what you said about IMAX because I watched it in IMAX.
Oh, okay.
So I agree with you, like what you said about after Oppenheimer. probably not the best for you to like truly appreciate IMAX, given the style of movie that was. Now, still great that we watched that movie in IMAX. I mean, I slept for most of it, but regardless, it was an obvious thing that we watched that in IMAX because, you know, we had the availability to do so when we were together. This movie in IMAX.
The refreshes are starting to get slow. Sorry.
Yeah. When we need to cut, you just
you just let
word,
us
we'll
know.
pause. Yeah. The IMAX in this movie is really good. It is very, very good. And I won't be too specific, but they use it very purposefully. The IMAX that was used in Oppenheimer, it's basically like almost the entire thing is an IMAX. So you kind of just get used to it, and it's just, you know, it's a fact of the movie. This movie, there are certain moments where you very clearly know how they are using the IMAX of it. Okay. And that's, you know, I'm being very vague with it. But since you haven't seen a lot of movies in IMAX, it will be a very fresh experience for you to experience a movie like this with how it utilizes it. And it's not like it's not a constant thing. It's very purposeful. I will say a slight critique that I would have, like the movie's beautiful just in general, like very well shot, cinematography is amazing. There are times I found towards the beginning, like the first 20 minutes or so, where it's cutting from like what are IMAX shot scenes of like large fields or the sky, and then it's cutting to more like standard framing of a movie with our characters. And for me, like, I noticed a difference in the color grading. I don't know if that would have been the case for the standard release as well, but like when you go from an IMAX where it looks like they're literally just like filming something and then it cuts to something else, I noticed a little bit of the difference of just like, okay, it loses a little bit of its consistency. I assume that was the case with the color grading for standard as well. And it wasn't bothersome. It was literally just like one or two little instances where I was like,
was it during whenever whenever he tells the little girl to watch his truck? Because I noticed that you could really tell where it was, which I don't know. I'll be interested. That's why I'll be interested to rewatch it. I feel like that first watch, it was cutting quite a bit from where it looked like it was. It looked more grainy, and then another shot, another immediate shot, it would look a lot more clear. And so I didn't know if that was maybe, I don't know if he shot this all completely on 70 millimeter film, or if some of them were different cameras used.
Yeah, the time that I remember was actually before that, when they like first go to get the truck. There's like some very like large wide shots like during their travel and whatnot, and then we cut to like them at the truck. And so I just like the color grading of it, it was just a very big contrast. Didn't really take away from it, but kind of just a little like it caught me off guard at first. So I'll be curious to see what you guys think of that after you watch it in IMAX. But otherwise, like an actual purposeful way to use it, which is usually the case for like a Marvel movie or an action movie, like Civil War. I'm pretty sure watching Civil War, as in Captain America Civil War, not the Alex Garland film from last year. Captain America Civil War, it like only cuts to IMAX during action scenes, and then once you hit the airport battle, it's just like IMAX for the rest of the movie. Is how they decided to utilize it. And so Marvel always uses it for a reason. Dune 2 uses it for most of the movie, but that's just like, you know, that's incredible for watching most of the movie in IMAX, and it works really well just inherently for a movie like that. This is a lot more like purposeful, intentional with how they used it, and I think it's really cool. I will be very intrigued to hear your guys' thoughts, because like it will almost like you'll understand things about the standard version of how it's shot and how it's edited that make more sense once you see it in IMAX.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Well, I even saw one of the shots that were in IMAX. 'Cause I saw somebody had taken a picture of there was like one of the projectionists had taken a picture of the 70 millimeter showing. And so I had assumed, okay, well, all of these pictures that he took fill the whole screen. These are all the shots that are filmed in IMAX. And I was just staring at those pictures for the longest time because I was like, God, this is gorgeous, dude. It's stunning. Me and my fiance might drive over to Dallas next year for Odyssey to see it in 70 millimeter IMAX.
Dude.
Yeah. She said because she watched Interstellar and she was like crying and she like loved it. And I was like, oh, well, let me tell you about his next movie. Let me tell you who's all in it. And so I just like went on a spill and I told her, I was like, this and the Odyssey are the only movies that are completely shot in 70 millimeter IMAX. It was, I think, the article I saw. And I was like, if you want, we can go take a trip to Dallas next year. We won't have wedding stuff to plan for. We can just take a little trip and plan around it. And she was like, yeah, I think that'd be fun. I was like, are you serious? You do that? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, fuck yes, let's go. So I'm going to push for that next year.
Yeah, that would be hype.
Yeah, Charlie could never. Anyway, so yeah, those I'm excited to see it in IMAX.
LA is closer to me than Dallas is to you, buddy.
Hey, guess what, buddy? All right, yeah, chill out. Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I am gonna come to that wedding, buddy, and I'm gonna track down your fucking little apartment there, and I'm gonna burn it down, bud. How about that?
Yeah,
about that,
let me know whenever you can flex 2 IMAX posters, one for Thunderbolts, one for Dune 2. Yeah,
Shut
all right,
up,
buddy.
How about just shut up, bro? How about that, man?
That one hit him in the soft spot. Sorry.
I just don't care. I just don't care. You know, truthfully, I don't care.
Wait, when are you driving to go see it in IMAX?
Friday.
Man,
Day after tomorrow.
It's exciting.
There's not really anything else coming out this weekend, right?
I think Until Dawn.
Yeah,
Oh my
so
God,
there's not really
really
anything else
coming
coming out this weekend, right?
The closer we get to Until Dawn, the more I don't want to see it, truthfully. So
Don't watch it. I don't plan to.
Hot mess.
I kind of felt like I felt like I had to because I thought we were going to talk about it on the podcast. But if we're not,
Hell
I don't care.
no. Hell no.
What?
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to talk about it.
Oh, I
fine with me.
will. I think what I'm gonna do for the honeymoon flight is I'm gonna download as many 2025 releases as I can, so that I can watch a whole bunch of them and get my list formed more a little bit better before we do our mid-season list or whatever 2025 list. So yeah, just figured I'd throw that out there. Anyways, Sinners. Anything else that we wanted to talk about with how amazing this movie is?
Dude, Michael B. Jordan.
Dude. Oh, do you agree that in another universe, this is Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors?
In another universe, it's Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman. Truthfully,
Jeez, that's
you
crazy
think so,
to think
man?
about.
That would be
100%.
dude. That's the stuff that he that clip that he told Straw Hat Goofy, man. God, that had me tearing up. That's like a beautiful fucking story to be able to tell. It's awesome. It's great.
That was fire.
I almost
I
feel a
dapped
little.
up Straw Hat Goofy one time. You guys know that?
We all did, bro.
Well,
Yeah, but it wasn't as good as mine, though.
Yeah, but
was
we're
it
not
though?
talking about
Hey,
it. We
good as
don't
mine,
care.
though.
you
Don't
can
care that much.
Charlie, you can keep it shut because he's a One Piece fan, so you have no relation to him. So get out of here. You don't even know what his fucking name stands for. It's crazy.
Yeah, okay, buddy. The fucking Straw Hats, your little fucking dick rider.
Goofy
group.
straw.
No.
Yeah,
No.
goofy looking
Oh,
straw
ew.
hat.
No.
What do you mean? Is he not a straw hat? Is that not what it is? He's supposed to be part of Luffy's crew. I thought that was the whole point.
No.
Oh my god.
Dude,
shut
don't I?
up.
Okay, this is
Shut
just some
up.
It's
stupid lore
it's because
BS, like, we don't care.
people call him Straw Hat Luffy, Straw Hat Goofy. It's not you don't get called a straw. You're not Straw Hat Nami, Straw Hat Zoro. That's not how it works, buddy.
That would be cool. That's actually one of the reasons I'm not watching the show is because they don't do that.
Shut up. You're gonna piss me off. You're fucking. I always fall for your rage bait, so keep quiet.
Michael B. Jordan. It upsets me a little bit that this came out in April because I feel like it's more likely that it will get looked over when award season comes around next year. Like if this was a November release, it'd be like, okay, we're getting for sound design, composition, editing, Michael B. Jordan. Like we're getting everything. I feel less confident about that. I still think that right now there's a very strong contender for a lot of those categories. I mean, obviously, we're saying it's the best movie of the year so far, so it's got to check off a lot of those boxes. But Michael B. Jordan, absolute standout. He genuinely, he felt like two different characters, which I know was the whole point. But to be able to do that effectively, where they each have their own mannerisms, but they can interact with each other, they went on their own separate journeys. The way that all of that is combined, I don't even know. I can't begin to fathom.
He plays them so incredibly differently, and it's so fantastic.
I don't even know how they went about filming it though. Him having to give multiple performances and react to different characters, react to himself. Executing that at such a high level is insane, and they did a phenomenal job with it. Just absolutely incredible, and insane performance, which that's not to downplay any of the other performances. For first time actor, Sammy was also phenomenal. I hope that this launches his career and he can be in a lot more stuff, because absolute praise for him as well. I'm glad he got to shine as much as he did, and it's hard when you have somebody like a powerhouse like Michael B. Jordan playing two roles, and this is your first movie ever. It's you have to give him as much credit as you can, but it's also hard when you have Michael B. Jordan giving two incredible performances.
Yeah.
But that's just a testament to how good everybody in this movie was.
Aiden wants to talk about Isabella Merced, bro, last week.
And it still stands, buddy. Come on.
No.
Let's
Well,
calm
you
down.
you can rob banks and trains, but you can't.
Oh, don't please don't. Please don't. I will throw up if I have to hear you. It's fine coming out of her mouth, out of yours. I gotta stop you right there. I love the detail, and this is just a testament to Ryan Coogler just making you care so much about these characters with just little scenes such as and I saw someone point this out, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was worth bringing up on the podcast about it's such a small scene, but Stax handing him I guess it is a blunt, right? That was weed, right? It wasn't like tobacco. He wasn't just he wasn't rolling up tobacco.
I think it was because I think he rolls his own cigarettes. I think, yeah.
Well,
or he rolls his cigarette. Stack.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is that Stack was? I just didn't know if it was weed or if it was tobacco. But Stack had handed him that cigarette, and then at the end of the movie, he can't roll because, and then you're like, oh shit, his brother always rolled his stuff for him because he can't roll. It's just things like that to where it's you're just looking at that final scene, and he's just getting pissed off, and then obviously to end it with that fucking banger, where he's just obliterating the clan. Yeah. And then I didn't know if YouTube would kill us for saying no, you're fine. Nobody watches this anyway. So yeah, him just killing him, just obliterating the clan, and then sitting there, and it was predictable, but it was still such an awesome moment where he's trying to talk to Annie, right? Is that her? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Annie.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to talk to Annie, and then the guy's like, "Hey, I'll do anything, here's the money." And he's just and just looks back. He's like, "All right, give me my kid." It's just, oh man, it's so fucking good. This movie is unbelievable. Even down to what Ben you were saying, just like how impressive it is to pull something off, like Michael B. Jordan playing two characters as well as he did. My God, that post-credit scene. Oh my fucking God, man.
And for
Like
a few
him
hours,
saying,
we was free. Damn.
well, like even just him saying, well, why after all these years, like why now? And he's like, he made me promise to, let you be. He made me promise to let you stay here. And so it's like, man, at first it's like these vampires, it's like, God, I hate them. Like they're trying to kill our main characters, and it's just like it's all out war here. But then like you see them pop up in there, and they're just like, man, you know what? Like, I don't know. Oh, just him saying right before the sun went down, that was the best day of my life. And was it the same for you? And he's like, dude, like that was the last time we were free. It's the last time I got to see the sun. Last time I got to see my brother. And so then you look at them and you have this completely different perspective on like, man, like when they're sitting there saying, come on, we can be free. Just come out here, join us. Like you don't get it, man. Like, this can all be so great. This can all be so good. That is genuinely a part of them actually feeling that way and talking like that. And I don't know, it just paints them in a different light. And I thought that scene like wrapped it up beautifully. I love that it's not so much a post-credit scene. It's more so what Invincible does, where they show a couple flashes of the credits and then they're just like, here's the rest of the episode. I think that's great because I'm sure it's like, hey, look at all these amazing people real quick. Okay, now you get the rest of the movie. And so I loved it for what it was. I thought it was amazing scene. I love that he kept his guitar. And I don't know if y'all brought this up earlier when I dipped out for a little bit, but Charlie, I'll speed it up so that we can pause real quick. It's 11. I just saw it was 10:58. But Remick repeating, and I saw Straw Hat Goofy talk about this, and so again, I thought it would be cool to bring up. Remick repeating the prayer as Sammy is saying it to him, and basically being like, yeah, that prayer, they told me that too. They kept me comfortable with that too. And now look at what I'm doing to you. And they're just doing so this same, the music and all of this stuff, they're using religion to do the exact same, to keep you enslaved. And like, because look at what happened to me. I literally finished the prayer for you, what you're trying to keep me away with. And they did the same thing. He breaks it down a lot better than I just did, obviously. But, it's even just things like that. That's like, man, this is a masterpiece.
I did make my list to see where Sinners would fall for the 2020s.
Well, we can go ahead and talk about it. Charlie, do you need us to pause?
You're good. Not until it pop. I can't even click on the purchase thing yet. So.
Okay.
You just yell out pause.
So, and granted, some of these movies I only have seen like one time in theaters, or it's been a while. But this is just like my gut reaction. I would have Sinners in 11th place for the 2020s.
Whoa, okay.
Which might seem low. I'm definitely not as high as you guys.
Can you name off what's in front of it, or?
Yeah, I'll just go through the 10, and then it would be after. Yeah. So number 1 would be Dune Part 2. Number 2, Oppenheimer. Number 3, Across the Spider-Verse.
Valid.
Number 4, The Batman. Number 5, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay. Number 6, and probably one that on rewatch I wouldn't enjoy as much, but I had a really emotional time with in the theater, which is The Fabelmans, the Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Number 7, Top Gun Maverick. Number 8, RRR. Number 9, John Wick Chapter 4. Number 10, Dune 1. And number 11, Sinners. I think for me, the reason why I would have it a little bit lower is it does like everything on an execution standpoint, absolutely phenomenal. It does get a little tropey in the third act, and it plays out to like a lot of beats that we've seen before. And so like for me, it can't quite top some of these other movies where it's like, John Wick 4 is like one of the best action movies I've ever seen, or RRR, emotionally just absolutely insane, on top of being one of the craziest movies ever. Or just how special Everything Everywhere All at Once was. Those things that like set it apart. This has some of those things, but it has too many of those story beats that I've seen before. So I wouldn't put it not quite in the top 10 of the 2020 so far.
That's honestly, that's fair. That's I like that take of it's not like as standout-ish as these other movies. I will just be honest. It's at my number 3 of the 2020s. Yeah. My top 5. Yeah, I'll do top 5. Whatever. I'll do my top 5 and then I'll just mention the other ones in there. My top 5 obviously is Dune Part 2 at 1, Babylon at 2, Sinners at 3, Across the Spider-Verse at 4, Niza 2 at 5.
What?
Yeah.
No
Niza
way.
2 has the fucking sauce. They're Brandon told me that they're getting an IMAX release here, or they're getting an IMAX release and a dub release later this year. I don't know where exactly they will be, but if there's an IMAX showing near y'all, I'd watch the first one real quick for free on YouTube and then watch that second one. It's genuinely the greatest animated movie I've ever seen. It's really good.
Dude,
and then
Batman or Everything Everywhere All at Once in the top 5.
My other five is Everything Everywhere All at Once, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Batman, RRR.
Gee.
Honestly, Everything Everywhere and the Batman, I'm pretty confident in saying Niza 2, Across the Spider-Verse, Sinners, Babylon, and Dune Part 2. I do like more.
Wow.
I'm probably in agreement more with Aiden. Sinners is my 3 as well. Dune 2 is my top. Across the Spider-Verse, and then Sinners, and then Everything Everywhere All at Once. And for my 5th spot, it's kind of up in the air, but I don't know. I point to something in a little bit more fun of a category, maybe, but like Barbie, I actually somewhat enjoyed, but I don't know if I don't know if I'm like solid on Barbie. Like I don't know. I think I'd probably choose Oppenheimer maybe over it, but Barbie's around there with it. It's like I did enjoy Barbie a lot.
Crazy.
I say y'all should watch Niza 2 if y'all ever get a chance. It's especially like Ben. I know you were talking a lot about like action and like RRR is up there. You were talking about Raid earlier. And also just in terms of movies that have everything, such as Sinners, that have super emotional moments, huge fights, and really cool concepts. Niza 2, especially original concepts. Niza 2 is that sauce that you're looking for in terms of original movies and pretty new concepts. And so, yeah, it has not made over 2-point-something billion for no reason. It's great.
I'm looking now, and there's nothing's pop up for showtimes yet in my theater area.
Can you is it telling you when?
No,
I guess I haven't looked at like the re-release.
It's just saying that it doesn't exist right now in my area. That might change, but for now I can't see anything.
The AI overview says the English dub is being produced by CMC Pictures, and the film is expected to be released on digital platforms by the fall of 2025. So I don't know. They are planning for an English dub release for global markets, and I think Brandon said it's because they really want to push it over that 3 billion, or they want to see how much they can get out of it.
Sure, that makes sense.
Which it will be a lot of movies. It has a 95 critic score and a 99 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's crazy.
Over 1,000 verified ratings for the audience, by the way. and 99% are positive.
That's crazy. Charlie, any luck so far?
Target's up, but not Best Buy. I'll keep trying both of them.
Oh, I'm about to just go buy one real quick, just to flex.
Oh, Aiden. Oh, you're such a sweet summer child.
Do you want us to pause?
No, I can probably multitask.
All right. Oh, Switch 2 console pre-order. Let's see. Right, it's a Switch 2 console.
Yeah.
Surely you're getting
coverage.
the Mario Kart bundle.
Yeah. Because otherwise, you pay an extra $30 if you buy them separately.
Well, I mean,
It's insane.
It's all bullcrap pricing, anyways.
Oh yeah, dude. Trust me, I've been mad about that for a while.
What
are you doing? Are you
2
just
weeks ago?
Yeah, I guess.
Are you just spam adding it to your cart or what?
I got one in my cart on Target, but I'm not, since I wasn't on the app, I'm not signed in. So, my girlfriend's trying to. So,
yeah, I got 2 in my. They're saying it's in my cart, but it's not actually. I'm just like messing around with it. When do they release it? When does the pre-order, or when does do it with? I don't know what I'm trying to say.
when does the console drop?
Yeah,
June 5th.
June 5th.
Yeah.
Oh, nice! I got one in my cart right now. Yeah.
I just did as well on the app now.
Ain't no way I'm dropping $540 though. I cannot afford to do that right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, neither can I, but she's on a credit card, I guess. She really wants this. She wants this more than me.
That's wild. Anyway, so yeah, that was our Sinners / top 5 movies of the 2020s so far.
Actually, maybe let's pause if we can. Yeah? Actually, because I do want to. Because when we talk about Last of Us, I want my full attention for that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, it's time. It's time to sever. We'll be right back. Oh
my God! Right. No way! You guys both did something weird.
On to our next discussion. The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2. I want to hear from Charlie.
This one's been a long time coming, man. I mean, this is something I've been texting my sister about it because she watched it and she was devastated by it, more so than I thought she'd be. But I told her.
Sister?
Yeah, I have a little sister. She's
what?
She's. How
old is she? Know that? Fake
22?
Friend, dude.
You didn't know that either, Ben. Don't lie.
Dude, that's crazy.
All right, bro. At least Aiden's fake laugh is believable. It's believable.
That was an ironic fake laugh. Okay.
But I was telling her that like I've been sitting on that since before the season 1 came out. Like I've been sitting and waiting for, because like I've known that the HBO show was going to be a thing since 2019. I think is when it was 2020. It was 2020. Sorry, and I've been sitting on this and trying to, like, every TikTok video I'd post, I'd be like, spoilers for the show. If you haven't seen it, please click away, as I'm going to talk about some crazy stuff. And we finally reached that moment this episode. I think we're just going to go full spoilers, by the way. At least I'm going to, just off a rip. I mean, if you want to hear about it, like, I feel like you have to talk about that. So, if I were to rate, see, here's the thing. Aiden said that he thinks it's the best episode of the show so far. I thought it was good. I don't know. The moment itself, I think the game did better. I've been adamant about this. I've been saying it on my TikTok and whatnot. The game just handled it, and the performances especially, I think, were much better. I'd love to I don't know if we get, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not like we can make money on this channel, but I don't know if we get claimed for it or anything, but I kind of want to throw up the scene just so we can show Ben the difference in how it looked on in the game versus the show. But what the show did, there's little things that I enjoyed more. I'm sorry, what?
I was saying I'm pulling up the comparison.
Oh, okay, cool.
But you can keep talking. Go for it. You can keep talking.
There's little things that I like that the show did differently. Maybe I like that. I like them more, and it's things like and Ben will see here in a second since Aiden's pulling it up. Never happened where Ellie crawls over to Joel after that happens. She just gets knocked out and then she wakes up. But I also love the little moment of her like pleading with him to get up, please get up, just like she does in the game. And like in the game, the most you get, Joel's on the ground like he is in the show, and he like raises his finger up a little bit, just to like. I took that as more as when I played it, like more of a like an acknowledgement of like he sees her, but like he physically can't do anything. But like this time, we see him like actually try to get up. He lifts his head off the ground for a little second, like he wants to do it because who he views as his daughter is begging him to do it, and he just can't do it, though. That kind of made it more heartbreaking in a way for me. Go ahead and play it, actually. Yeah, we're gonna
I'll play little bits. So this one is just going to be the Joel introduction.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Because if I play the whole thing, it's a 7-minute scene, and I think we'll definitely like we'd have to, and we can't just play a whole 7-minute scene. A 7-minute
yeah,
video.
just do the introduction, and then you can skip to where Ellie comes in to the room.
This is sorry, I cut Charlie off. You can go ahead and explain.
This is just for audio listeners. Sorry, we're showing the comparison for Benjamin's sake. What the game version looked like versus the TV show version. So, because Ben has not seen the game version, so.
Okay, this is Joel's introduction. Let me know. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
We do. A few hours on the hill. Y'all should come back with us. Restock before we head out.
Appreciate it. I'm Mel, by the way.
Tommy, this is my brother.
Joe. Y'all act like you heard of us or something.
Because they have.
Oh my God, that is just crazy. Like dude. Oh my, I can't get over that, dude. It's just because like it's so out of nowhere how she just blasts him like that, you know? And like it is a little bit out of nowhere in the show too, but holy shit, like that is like I can't. I've never been able to get that out of my head.
And then this is the other part that I really like. That I really like in the game.
Yeah.
That's different from what they do in the show.
This just for a little bit of context, this little moment, he's looking around the room. Abby just asked him,
damn it, I was too far ahead.
Yeah, here, play it from there.
Miller.
Who are you?
Guess.
It's insane she asked him to guess.
I know, yeah, it's wild.
Why don't you say whatever speech you got rehearsed? Get this
over with. Fuck.
You don't get to rush this.
Tourniquet his leg. Do it.
Don't you fucking move.
He's gonna start screaming a whole bunch.
Yeah. That one is it's interesting in that context just because like in the show, she has this gigantic monologue talking about why she's doing what she's doing to Joel and like make sure he knows why he's dying at her hands. In the game, that never happens. Literally, like he says, make your giant speech and get this over with. And she never does. She literally she just kills him. And
Yeah.
truthfully, I do and don't like in the show that she has this gigantic monologue. It's been a point of contention for people who've played the game. Her motivations and whatnot being so upfront and present in that moment with her killing Joel. I like it just because I feel like that fits. Like it makes sense that someone who you have this genuine hate for and you want to kill and you want them to know why you're killing them, why they're about to die. You know, like I buy that in my mind. Just I do think it went on a little bit too long. It was a little bit too exposition heavy, and there's a couple of dumb things that just I don't know. Like well, you actually are kind of handsome. Like, did you need to say that part? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't really know. I do like in terms of the Abby interrogating Joel stuff, I do prefer the game. I don't know, but I do like Abby getting to be like, they said you didn't even look at him when you shot him. Like my dad, you didn't even care to look. Like, do the Fireflies ring a bell to you? Like, does that what do you think I'm here for? So I like aspects like that, but like what we just saw, Tommy, he's like, I'm Joel. He's like, oh, you look like you heard of us or something, and then just straight to business, and it's just still continuing to go there, all the way up until Ellie shows up. Bro, tell her stop screaming, bro. Right? There's well, is it the cats?
Yeah, I think he probably jumped up on something.
But yeah, anyways, here is the Ellie showing up. I'll stop it just so it's not just a straight 3-minute clip of whatever, but I'll interject or we can interject.
Well, I just want to make sure her performance gets through because that's the main reason I want to show the difference. So
then I can just. Oh well, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it'll.
Pin it down! Get off me! Get her hand! Get the fuck off me!
You got her! Look, you got her! Okay?
You're gonna fucking die!
What's going on?
Let him go.
Who is that?
Let him.
I'll have to go and splice around the brain matter on the golf club, but yeah. Yeah, that's the other. I guess I guess we can talk about it after.
Yeah, I just want.
Yeah.
Right before she does it.
The Joel get up.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want all that. I think that's right.
Is that
it's right here, right? I think right where you are. Yeah.
Please don't shoot. Joel, please get up. No.
Oh man, the brains, bro. The brains. Crazy. That's a change I also don't know if I like because he didn't spit on him.
Does she say Joel get up right here?
Yeah, well, I think you have to back up maybe a little bit more. Yeah, he started a little bit past it.
I guess I should have just let it keep playing, but I didn't want to.
I thought I heard it already.
Joel, get up. Joel, fucking get up.
Yeah, like he moves his finger a little bit.
Please stop.
And then, okay, you can pause it. We're not play that part again. But, yeah, that's the game version. There's a lot of, and these are complaints that I've agreed with so far is, the lighting in the scene of the show. Just not great. Like truthfully, not like comparing it to the game. And maybe I'm a little bit biased because like that's how I experienced it the first time. But like, I don't know, man. It was I feel like in that dark, gloomy room, it's so much more gut wrenching in a way than like that brightly lit. And it just seems like they took. It feels reductive for me to say, but I am gonna say like it feels like they didn't really like take the time to like block it and light it in a very like interesting way. It was kind of just like it was very well lit. There's nothing. Hold up, Best Buy's up.
I can take over. Yeah, I would agree with that. The fogged windows, and especially happening after all of the he saves Abby from the clickers and everything. That atmospheric, just dreadful place to be. And then all of that happening. Here it's just like, oh yeah, we're on location at this cool cabin. Let's just make this as colorless as possible. When I say I think it's the best episode in the entire show is for the show. Especially with all of the stuff that happens before with the hordes of clickers or with the hordes of zombies. And even the scene, I think it was so well done of Abby crawling through the gate. It was literally horrifying. And that's just good filmmaking shit. Like that's just great shit for a TV show about a zombie apocalypse. Even like Tommy, I genuinely thought they were going to kill Tommy. I genuinely thought they were going to kill Tommy right there in the show.
Oh, in the show.
I was like, no way they killed Tommy. Like I thought, I was like, why not? Why not? I know Joel's going to die here soon. Like who knows what they're going to do? Because it felt like such a inescapable thing that just happened to Jackson. So all of that, everything with Joel and Ellie, and even them throwing in new additions, like Ellie being like, me and Joel are fine. Joel is Joel. I'm me. We're going to be fine. As a matter of fact, let me just go on patrol with him, because maybe she was going to apologize. Maybe she was going to take that time to talk it out with him. And now she doesn't get to. And so to have all of that stuff kind of just like all bleed in, Tommy doesn't even know Joel's dead right now. It's just, I think it is the best episode of the show. In terms of how it lines up with the game, obviously, that's a different discussion. But in terms of the TV show, if The Last of Us games didn't even exist and this was just a TV show, I think this is the best episode of the show so far.
Which, in that aspect, yes, I agree, for sure. Okay. Episode 1, season 1 is a really good episode, but I do think this takes the cake.
I mean, just
because I think I said this when we talked about season 1, episode 5. Like when people ask what The Last of Us is, I said I would point to that episode, and that's what it is. Like the emotion, the character depth of Henry and Sam, and then the infected crawling up out of the ground. Like it encompassed everything that The Last of Us really was, and I think that I could point to this episode and say the same thing.
Yeah,
maybe less so on like a character front, but in a similar sense, I think that I can do that with this episode as well. So I do think you have a point in that regard, as far as just looking at it as an episode of the show.
Yeah.
Before Ben goes, let's talk about a couple other things that I liked. I did love the Jackson attack. Never happened in the game, so that was super cool to see. Awesome seeing him fight a bloater, Tommy fight a bloater. That never happens in the game, so that's really cool to see. And I like. A lot of people are saying that they're ruining certain aspects because, as you just saw in what we just pulled up, like Tommy was there for Joel's death initially in the game, but this time around it was Dina instead of Tommy. And there's people complaining about Tommy not being there and instead having him back at Jackson for an MCU style slot moment. And it's like, that's such a reductive way of looking at that of that change. Like, I would argue that this change was to show how Jackson operates in a stressful situation, something we never got to see before. And so, if anything, it just expands on things and doesn't ruin a development in any way, which is, I actually made a specific TikTok video about it, which I can talk about later when it gets rounded back to me. But like, I don't know, bro. There's so many whiners that played the game and they apparently loved it. They loved part 2. And to now see them whining about the show as much as they complained about all the people that whined about the game for so long is so ironic and so funny to me. I don't know. Ellie and Jesse, I thought that was cool to see them interact for a little bit. And yeah, I guess there's not really much else besides the stuff that we talked about. I mean, that pretty much encompassed the entire episode, just the Jackson thing and then the Joel stuff. So,
yeah,
enjoyed it. The moment we've all been waiting for. Benny boy, what do we got?
This is actually huge.
I haven't talked about my thoughts with anyone. So I have not really like fleshed them out loud. And so I'm going to do probably a lot of rambling, but I hope that you guys will get, the gist of what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm mainly going to focus on the Joel side of things.
Sure.
Everything up to that, I was really loving. Like, especially in comparison to how I felt about episode 1. I was glad that we kind of started to see some momentum. So I didn't really have any complaints. Thoroughly enjoyable. But I really, I'm going to focus on the Joel stuff because it feels almost pointless to talk about anything else. So how I'm feeling right now, as somebody who still doesn't have the context for what happens in the rest of the game, this moment would be really good if this wasn't season 2, episode 2 for me. And I'll explain what I mean. We start off this season learning that since we last saw them, that Joel and Ellie have had a very rough, rocky relationship, very broken, not really on the same page, and very much at odds through the whole first episode, at odds or either completely ignoring each other. And then in episode 2, there's a couple of subtle mentions of her saying that they're fine. Doesn't really like sound believable. We don't see any of it. Like, I don't really believe it. I think it's kind of her just saying that to, I forget who she was talking to, but just kind of brush it off and, not get too deep into it. And so for me, like, Joel's death was, it's like, bro, we just found out that they have had a terrible relationship and we see how awful it is. And then, like, it seems like they set up all of that just to kill Joel. And I don't know what they have planned with where the rest of the season goes and how that, ties into it. But to me, they just got rid of a big reason why I, cared about what was happening in this show, which was the dynamic between Joel and Ellie. Maybe you guys are smirking because you know where this goes, and I'm going to be eating my words, and I hope I am. But right now, I feel very much like very dissatisfied. And if that's the point, then they did a good job. So this, like, it just didn't, like, it hit in the moment, but in retrospect, it didn't hit as hard as it would if we had more setup and more of a growth in their relationship so that those emotions hit even harder. Instead, it feels almost like too rushed, too cheated, too out of nowhere. And furthermore, if we're going to get, the rest of this season and a full third season, if not a fourth, depending on what they do, and we have no Joel. I don't know. That to me doesn't sound great. Dude, I know there's a lot.
It's just, oh man, it's just so
No,
it's just
it
so
is, yeah.
cool. It's just yeah.
Okay. So that's why, like, if you guys,
I do want to say, like, he's so far lining up with what I think we thought where he was gonna in our conversations about like building up to him seeing this.
yeah. So
Yeah, I'll tell you, when I was playing the game, I mean, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious right now? Like, I was very much in that same camp.
Yeah. So, like, here's the thing is, if you've played the game, then you might watch this and think it's the best episode of the show. And for me, I'd be like, I don't see that at all. Like, I'm sorry, but like, multiple episodes in season 1 swamp this, in my opinion. Which is why I say, like, in a vacuum, it's a good episode, and the Joel scene could be really good, but that's only in a vacuum, and it feels like, given the context of it, I really was not the biggest fan of how it was handled, which it sounds like that's the whole point. And, whatever they're going to do with the rest of how they tell the story is going to somehow make me eat my words on it. And I hope that's true. But it sounds like you guys were expecting me to be underwhelmed by this, which is a good sign.
I would say that I was just expecting you to not like this decision with Joel. Above all else, I think like you'd be disappointed with this choice and how early on it happens, because it happens early in the game as well. Very similarly, like we see Ellie and Joel's relationship shattered in a way, and we don't know why. Besides like the inferences we can make based off of how the last season ended with like how he lied to her and whatnot. Like you can make inferences, but you have no idea. There could be something, there's another element that could be a part of it or whatever. So going into this and waiting for you to see this, I'd say you're in line with where a lot of people checked out of the game. Like when they found out that information, because the game leaked this information. It leaked like 2 months before the game came out. Somebody hacked into Naughty Dog or whatever and leaked the whole thing. And there was rumors going around that Abby was like this transgender, super buff chick dude or whatever, and beat the hell out of Joel. And so there was a whole like woke conversation going on around that too.
Genuine.
And so I unfortunately got it spoiled for me, speaking of which, literally like a week before I played the game. I was so pissed, but it was my own curiosity. It was my own fault. But basically with just that context of like Joel dying, and then they knew it happened in the first two hours of the game so early on, like they were pissed, and a lot of people just checked out of the game. But I mean, I don't think you're going to check out of the TV show or anything. It just, I think I thought you'd land here. Like you'd be upset with Joel being gone, and it's kind of like a detriment to the show because of it.
I was this is completely off topic. I was looking at The Last of Us Rotten Tomatoes real quick. It's season 2 of Andor dropped into the 70s for audience, so go ahead and take that point off.
Wow, really? Actually, let me.
Yeah, it's a 79.
79 bench
and a
bench,
99.
Bench.
So you can go ahead, drop the point. That way we don't have to like do a list. If we don't need to do a list update next week, we don't have to. So, anyways, yeah, sorry. I figured I'd throw that
down
in there.
To
now.
6 points brings Ben down to 10.
Wow, yeah, continue this. Sorry, I know it's gonna be hard for you to continue with that weight on your heart, but
the other thing about it is just like feels very rushed to introduce Abby and have this happen. Like, from my understanding, what I just like kind of picked up on and what was hinted at is like she's actually in these first 2 episodes a little bit more than she's even in the game before this happens, which was part of people's frustration with her being set up so early on. And that, like, I definitely align with that as well. I'm just like, this feels like a moment that should hit a lot harder than it does, and it feels like it presents itself like it's a huge thing that they've really built up to. But it's 2 episodes in, and it feels like they're missing 5 or 6 episodes of context that would actually make this payoff work. And, you know, maybe part of the rest of the show is going back and filling in the gaps, and we get to see a lot more stuff, and we learn more things, and then, you know, they revisit it. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe. But at this point, yeah, like, this is...
Yeah.
I'm glad you feel
it doesn't
like
work
this.
for me.
I'm glad you feel like this is what I would probably sum it up. Like, I am glad that you feel like this, because this will show, like, your real thoughts on it eventually. Like, if you were just so indifferent to it, then, like, I'd be a little bit, oh, it's a bit of a bummer. But, like, I'm glad that you feel like this.
Yeah, I think I realized at some point when you guys were talking, I was just like, I'm not about to let them down. They know something that I don't, and they are prepared for me to say what I'm about to say. Which
I'm a lot more happy that you feel like this rather than you coming and being like, I mean, yeah, you know, Joel's dead. I mean, whatever, who cares? But the fact that you're like, what is going on? Why is this? Why is it like that? Like, I think that's I really like that, and I would honestly prefer that any day of the week.
And to me, I really don't know how this show is going to operate for multiple more seasons without Joel. And I understand that, like, part of it is that they're splitting...
too, buddy. Us too.
Well, part of it is that they're splitting the second game into multiple seasons, and that might screw up the pacing. Who knows? I don't really know. You guys would be able to know that more than me. But just like my gut reaction is just like, it just doesn't feel right. Doesn't work. I don't like it. But it sounds like that's exactly where I'm supposed to be at this point.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing, I feel like there's nothing that I can say that wouldn't hint towards, like, potential spoilers for later on in the season, so I'm not going to say anything as to like how your feelings might change. But I mean, as a scene in and of itself, I felt the same way as Aiden said. Like, I felt the same way when I was playing the game. Just because, like, yeah, like, you got to think about, like, for you, not to compare how bad the wait was like I do with Severance or whatever, but for you, like, with the show, you built a relationship with these characters over season 1, and then you waited 2 years and you got this. You had this happen. Built a relationship with these characters in 2014 in the game. 2013 is when it came out, but I played it in 2014. I waited 6 years for part 2 to come out, and I get 2 whole hours with Joel, and then he's killed. So I very much understand, and like, he's killed, and the whole time before that, Ellie's giving him the cold fucking shoulder, and, like, we didn't even get to see them together hardly. So yeah, I'm very man. Now, like, it's almost like I need to be excited to see how you're going to react after season 3 as well, you know? So, but that's ways off. So it doesn't really matter. Bringing that up as a point of conversation seems redundant here, but yeah, man. What did you think of Abby? I know you said that you thought it was rushed with Abby and everything. What about, like, her crew and everything like that? What is your take on the rest of them?
Pretty indifferent. Like, I don't know.
Like, well, I guess, like, for example, like, I think in the episode, Owen says to the rest of them, like, because he's like, I have a plan. I'm formulating a plan. Give me a second. Give me a little bit. Abby leaves, and then they ask him, hey, what's the plan? What plan do you got cooking? He's like, the plan is we're going to ask her to turn around and leave. And like just thinking about them in that headspace and then it eventually ends up happening anyway, what they came here to do. Like, what do you think of their motivations versus Abby's motivations, I guess? And like maybe where they land. I also think about the one girl who put Dina to sleep. Like she turned away while Abby was doing what she was doing. And she was like crying, et cetera, et cetera. Fucking bitch ass man.
I mean, to me, it just seems like kind of the crew very naturally is not fully on board with going to these like extreme lengths for these things, and that they just like can't fully support it, but to an extent like they're complacent, because what's the other option? That they're gonna hold Abby back and let Joel live? Then she'll just want to kill one of them at some point. It's like, what do you do in that situation? Like you're either saving the person she hates and killing her, or you're letting her go through with it. So I mean, I think it's just a typical kind of like people were on board with the plan, but then seeing the extreme lengths that she went through could definitely cause some hesitation, which is understandable. Like it would be different if she was like, oh yeah, this is Joel, and she like just straight up shot him in the head or something like that. But like clearly seeing that she has a bit of a darker side, causing like very natural human response to be just like, she's kind of crazy. Like this is a bit more extreme than we thought it was going to be. So, I don't know. Like I don't have like a specific read on specific people. I guess it just seemed kind of like a normal, diverse group of varying opinions on the actions that were being taken. But there was nothing really notable that stood out about that.
I think of like Manny. I guess you probably don't know that his name is Manny. I think they said it like once in episode 1, but like he seemed very much into it. Like he wanted to kill Ellie after she came into the room, and then like he walks over to Joel's dead body and calls him a pendejo and all that whatever.
Well, didn't Ellie like cut his face?
Cut his face for sure. Yeah. So
which is another thing that like his gut response would be just like, dude, she cut me. I'm gonna might as well like. But again, just like varying levels of how on board they are with it, but nothing crazy that stuck out with it.
Yeah. I talked about it a little bit, but like Abby's monologue and like her spelling everything out to Joel. What are both of your guys' takes on that? Because I haven't heard Aiden talk about it.
I said, well, I guess I just compared it to the game earlier. I do like that it kind of it kind of is supposed to insinuate that feeling of Joel's a piece of shit. I mean, Joel got, what was coming to him. That's
another question I think I have for you, Ben. Like, is that,
do
you think, are those your feelings right now? Knowing that what Joel took from Abby? Because I guarantee when you were watching season 1 and you saw him killing all these people, you probably didn't give it a second thought. You were like, oh yeah, he just killed a background character that was a nobody.
I mean, I think her getting this revenge on Joel does make sense, and like it's hard to like, you can't really argue. You understand why she's doing it. You get it. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say that he deserved it or he got what was coming, but you understand her motivation for why she did it.
Yeah.
And then just
I love it. I love it.
For the monologue, I would say if we're going to later in the season, if we're going to reference back and get more context for that and more connection to that, then I think the monologue was silly to have in that moment. But if they don't ever connect those dots, then it's fine. So it really depends. For now, like, it didn't stand out to me of just like, oh, she's kind of yapping. Like, she shut up. Like, that's not what I was thinking in that moment. It was kind of whatever. But if they're going to establish a deeper connection to make that moment work a little better, than it could have done without. But I can't really speak on that until, we get further along.
Was that what was the moment of like when she revealed that it was her dad to Joel? Was that like a somewhat shocking moment to you, or did you kind of like before that? Did you just think that she was just upset because he killed all the other Fireflies, which were just like her partner, her soldier buddies, her friends?
I don't think that I had like drawn my own conclusion on the reason, but it also wasn't like a huge shock reveal. Like her just saying, "Oh yeah, that was my dad." It's like, okay, makes sense now, like why you want to kill him. But that was kind of it. It wasn't a huge moment, and before that point, I didn't really care too much about the reason why she wanted to kill Joel, because like it's not like that had been a huge thing that had been set up. And
I was gonna say, did you? Because I don't even think we talked. Well, I couldn't. I feel like there was no way for me to bring it up for last week's episode because like it would probably hint it too much. But like, did you think that she was gonna get that done? Like she was going to kill Joel?
I'll be honest, I did. Like
you did, really?
Here's the truth. Like I didn't have any clear spoilers from the game, but I think even since season 1 and the whole talk about like season 2, like crazy things happening, one of the first things that I thought is like, okay, Joel's gonna get killed off. And so like,
wow,
even for somebody who like had a slim thought of like that's probably something that's gonna happen, when episode 1 came out last week, and we didn't talk about it, and I didn't mention it, but starting the show with her being like, "I'm gonna kill Joel," I was just like, I kind of believe her. Like,
oh wow.
but that's only like me just conspiracy theory piecing random things together. Or even like, I think one of you probably retweeted something that was like a golf club, and it was like something about the scene was going to be crazy in season 2, where it's like kind of spoilers without context in a way, where like you got to know to know
who it was.
And it might not have been one of you guys, but it definitely was like very subtle. Just like, if you know what happens with the golf club, then you know what happens.
Sure.
And so
what it sounds like is you probably thought she was going to get it done, but just not episode 2.
Well, I think after their paths crossed in episode 2, then I knew. I was just really? I think we're building up to this. It was not a shock to me, like in the moment or when they had him or when she started kind of torturing him and playing with him. Like there was not like in the middle of that, there was not some crazy revelation of like, oh my gosh, like she's going to go through with it. I was pretty set on that was going to happen. Pretty well before that.
Something I wanted to talk about when it comes to the game and versus the show. And I have not been at least trying not to kick the show's ass for some of the decisions that they do in the show versus the game. There's one in particular that very much to me anyway seems like it was like they did not want to let me word it like this actually. It seems like it was bending the knee to all of the people that hated this aspect of the game. And it's the little moment right when Abby and Joel meet up with each other, right when Joel saves Abby, then Dina shouts Joel's name, and then Abby looks up. One of the biggest complaints from the game is that Joel or Tommy gives away Joel's name to a complete stranger that they just met, because that's the same. It happens the same way in the game. Joel saves Abby in that same exact spot, killing an infected that's on top of her, and then he comes over to Tommy, and Tommy says Joel's name, and so it seems like they put Dina in that moment in a way to like she's not as careful as Tommy and Joel, and then she doesn't know that there's a person with Joel up there, so she just shouts out Joel's name, and it's kind of like a just a throwaway thing. And it seems like I guess to me, it seems like they're acknowledging that that was wrong, because I've been a staunch defender of it, because like I don't think there's anything wrong with Tommy referring to Joel as Joel in the game. Like there's like it's especially in an emotional, like a high tense moment when a horde of infected are hunting them down, like him calling him Joel, I don't think that that's like something that should even be taken as a serious critique. And so to see them do something like that here is just like a spineless comes to mind, but I do feel like that's maybe a little bit harsh. Just like, I don't know, stick to your guns, I guess, but whatever. I think I do think I'm probably getting too into the weeds and being a bit over the top with my complaints on that, but just wanted to put it out there. Yeah, what about the infected attack on Jackson? I know you said mainly we want to talk about the Joel stuff, but what did you think about that? Seeing a bloater again, but this time like longer and an actual fight with a bloater.
I really loved all of that. The setup to it, and then the scene itself. Just really impressive stuff that the show does with its set pieces and the scenery, and then how things are shot and how everything looks. Very, very good. That's why, like, I wanted to focus on the Joel stuff because I really don't have too much to add. Like, thoroughly enjoying every single part of that. Like, I really was. I in a vacuum, I love the episode. It's just that moment that I have bigger picture issues with, but the rest of it I thought was very good. And I agree with what Aiden said about Tommy. I was just like, Tommy's not making it out of this situation. Like, oh, this guy, he's getting cooked. And also just with the attack that happened, I have the same kind of feelings with them killing Joel off of like, what the frick do we do for the rest of the season? Like what, like it feels like we spent 2 episodes just getting back into the swing of things. And then they threw everything for a loop and nothing's the same. Everything's out of whack. Everything's destroyed. It's all gone. Like that's it.
Yeah.
It's in the dumpster. So I definitely feel that about the rest of the episode as well, of just like some really bold choices to do this so early on. And I don't know how it will affect the direction of everything else, but yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Show looks incredible, I think, is one of the big takeaways. Yeah. Just the whole time you're watching it, you never really think twice, or nothing stands out when it comes to the set design or the special effects, even the makeup department for the infected and whatnot. Everything is just such a high level. So lots of praise for the quality of this show. And it was a very entertaining episode. It really is just those feelings of this doesn't feel earned, and where do we go from here? That's kind of my two biggest takeaways moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say.
Yeah,
not about deeper game stuff. So
yeah, I think that was a great discussion.
I guess let me talk Bella's performance in the. I didn't talk about it. Bella's performance in that scene, very, very good. I do think they did a great job. I still think Ashley Johnson acted circles around her. I mean, in terms of like just guttural screams and genuine pleading, oh man, it still makes me borderline tear up every time I listen to Ashley Johnson's. And the song, we haven't talked about that yet, I guess.
Yeah.
The song at the end, for Ben, for your sake. That song is sung by the voice actress for Ellie, Ashley Johnson. And that song was the song that they put in the reveal trailer for The Last of Us Part 2, when they first announced that it was even going to be a thing. There's a cutscene of Ellie playing that song on the guitar while Joel walks up behind her, and she says she's going to find and she's going to kill every last one of them. But
a little swerve.
Yeah.
of like Joel being there.
Yeah, like, and the funny thing is too about that trailer, so many people like predicted, what if Joel's dead here? Like, what if that's just like she's just imagining Joel in that moment? And like, I was very much like, nah, dude, that's stupid, that's dumb. And then like, that's very much what they were trying to go for in that moment. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's that song. I don't know how I couldn't have predicted that it was going to be that song. Like, the episode is literally called "Through the Valley," and because I say predict that it was going to be that song because Neil Druckmann in an interview said that there was going to be a specific song for Last of Us fans at the end of the episode, a very deep cut. And I think I told Aiden that I predicted it was going to be the Pearl Jam song that he told you to listen to last week, Ben, which I bet you haven't, buddy. Bet you haven't.
No, of course not. Are you kidding me?
Don't scoff at it just yet.
Bro, I don't even remember you bringing that up.
Don't scoff at it just yet.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm worried that they're not even going to do it because the song technically didn't exist until 2013, and in this universe, the outbreak happened in 2003. So technically, the song never got made.
I mean, I guess we could just have Ben watch the clip, like not right now, but yeah, we could just have him watch if he wants. Yeah,
for sure.
Because I think it's a great moment. It's awesome.
But yeah, and also I don't know, a little anticlimactic, I think, to just have Abby stab him with the golf club. I do think it's cool. It shows like how hard she was hitting him to the point where she broke the head of the golf club, and then she just stabs him with it. But I don't know, a little bit like less gruesome. I also just feel like his face wasn't as messed up as I thought it would be. It was messed up, but like, and I get it, it's TV. But then I look at Daredevil Born Again, where Kingpin can just fucking smash some dude's face, and we can see his brains fly out. But when we get to HBO, we can't. Nope, we just a little bit of black eye, a little bit of blood. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Disney property, by the way. That's crazy that even happened in the Disney property.
Yeah.
No, that was about all I had. I'm still waiting, Charlie, for them to do. I don't know the lyrics.
Take on Me.
No, oh my God, yes, 1,000%. But the oh my gosh, it's the trailer that they did where Ellie's running away from all the clickers.
Right, that was the launch trailer.
Yeah, that one. I'm still waiting for that one. For a split second, I was like, "Oh my God, is this it?" And then I was like, "Oh my God, no!"
Are they going to do that though? Because they did that for a credit song in season 1.
Did they? They did. That's right. That's right. Because I remember freaking out about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right. Oh, that's so cool. There's a lot of really good music that they can. They better play Future Days, even if it's just a song at the end.
I know. Like, I feel like, I feel like there's ways around because like they keep saying that in interviews. That's why I bring up the fact that the song doesn't exist technically, but like there's ways you can get around. Like, just play it through the show, like you did the Ashley Johnson song. Like, because playing it through the show, like that's like we're hearing that's not an in-universe thing technically. But yeah,
I guess him playing it, him playing it for her. Anyways,
sure. The Last of Us season 2, episode 2.
I think I'm good on video game stuff, Charlie, until like we see what happens next week.
Yeah. There's
in
nothing,
terms of like,
there's nothing I was gonna say other than like I made a TikTok about this, but I was just gonna say a little bit of like how Dina and Tommy were switched.
Okay. We can jump to that real quick. Did you get a Switch?
No, I'm still in line at Best Buy.
It's crazy.
Holy shit. Brandon sent a voice message. He said he not only got one, but he got two.
What did he need a second one for?
I don't know. I don't know what he I think he said if y'all are still recording, you could play this for Charlie.
You can play this for Charlie if the podcast is over, if you're still on it, but he better have gotten one because I was not only able to get one pre-order, I was able to get 2 pre-orders. So
who did he do it through? Did he do it through Target or Walmart?
I don't know.
I'm in line for both right now. Or not Target, but I'm in line for Best Buy and Walmart.
That's crazy, man. Watch me just pull one with ease and just like get it shipped here tomorrow.
Okay.
Type shit.
Yeah, bro gets it early release too.
Yeah, we could talk about some of the changes if you want, but I mean, I'll leave that up to you.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just a people. It's more me whining and complaining about people that are whining and complaining. So
yeah, well, we can tackle a little bit of the game stuff next week after episode 3 comes out. Thank you for anybody still listening here. I gotta believe that Absta listened all the way through to the end of the episode last week to comment all that stuff. So that's freaking awesome. If anybody else is doing the same thing, drop a comment. Let us know that you're here because it makes our entire weeks. It makes our days.
I think they did do that because I think 2 of their comments were on one day, and then the next comment, their third comment, was on a different day. So
really?
I think they listened to a part of it, and then the next day they listened to the other part.
Dude, that's crazy. Because there are so many moments where I'm like, I know I would listen to I'd sit and listen to like a 3-hour, like while I'm at work or whatnot. But I'm like, who else really would, or like, whatever. So when things like that happen, it's like, wow, there really are people listening. And I should have said this at the beginning. If you're the dude that subscribed right in front of me, in line.
Oh, what? I didn't know somebody did that. What the?
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Oh, did you? I didn't listen to that. I'm sorry.
He was a G. Me and Brandon were there, and the Disney rep kind of said, "All right, y'all can come start lining up." And we were like, "Oh shit!" So we all got up and started walking, and obviously everyone wants like front, like everyone wants to get in front. That guy kind of like stood back a little bit, and he was like, "Yo, come on." And then we got in front of him. He's like, yeah, I just got worried that y'all were going to get jumped because y'all were here super early. So I just want to make sure y'all get in front of me. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. So I went up to him later. I was like, dude, since you were such a G, I got something
Subscribe
for you.
to the podcast.
Subscribe to my podcast.
Since you were such a G, be a G again.
Since you were such a G, I'm going to bless you with my fucking podcast. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so he was like, here, type it in. So I typed it in, and so I typed it in on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, here it is. He was like, oh, bet, and he subscribed. I was like, oh, you're a real one.
Yeah.
So if that's you, I mean, hey, say go ahead and say something. But yeah, thank you to anybody still listening. What a freaking amazing episode. One of my personal favorites, just because I was so excited all these past 24 hours to get in here and talk about it. So
yeah, we get it, Thunderbolts boy. We get it.
Oh, I could spoil the shit. I'll tell you what I sent you. I just sent you. It was a fake spoiler, obviously. I just thought it was funny because it's already happened. I was like, bro, Chris Evans with the crying emoji and the praying hands. But then you never opened it, you fucker.
I was gonna get you, bro, before you got me. So
yeah, well. It's a really fucking good post-credit scene. All right, with that,
you just told me to temper my expectations, this boy, and the podcast. I'm done looking at you, bro.
Well, because groundbreaking, earth-shattering, biggest post-credit scene in MCU history is like, all right, bro, let's chill out. And so if you see that flying around, I'm just like, look, bro,
HC Joe already. He's been on that, bro, ever since. Because
I'm so glad I don't get any of his stuff anymore. Anyways, thank you for watching. Keep an eye out for next week. We'll be back here. At the minimum, we're talking Last of Us episode 3, and at the maximum, we're definitely throwing in some Andor in there. So come check that out. And without further ado, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Adios.
Sayonara.
I like how Ben took my salute thing.
What does Aiden do? What are you...
I'm trying to end it, but I can't. There we go.